face.
Ladies and gentlemen, VCT Pacific starts now. We have Global Esports versus DRX.
Yeah, I mean, to the younger players here who just recently had their debuts, walking out against each other here on stage. And again, my eyes are going to be on Rossi in this set. I think that he needs to have a very strong start in this if they want to have a hope of being able to push DRX to the limits. As Buzz is saying, oh, it's my first time on the stage. I gotta go around the front, my bad. Oh crap, I'm gonna look like an idiot.
You know, maybe he was just like that ready to start gaming.
Yeah, actually.
That could
ready
be one
to
of those
go.
things, but now both IGLs, man, staring down each other with a fist bump.
Aaron looks serious.
He does. And I gotta say, after spending quite a bit of time with Aaron, both in Korea as well as in Sao Paulo, I think that he has a very solid head on his shoulders. He is somebody who takes
The
game
point
seriously.
is
He's got a
Rossi's
great
gonna
idea of how to
play.
it, but he also sets very realistic
What's up,
expectations.
RiftTube? Buckle in, baby. No
Rather
Rossi.
than, demanding the impossible, and tries to, work with
I
them
am.
to just, continue, to develop them. So if he finds weaknesses, if he identifies something that they need to work on, he makes sure that he works with that player to improve those aspects. So I really like Aaron as a leader. We'll see how the shot calling goes, though, against a very, very seasoned veteran on the international stage in Stacks.
Leadership quality is definitely important, but of course, also important is for the coach because they are the ones who get to develop the teams. And Termi, Glow, of course, alongside Eraser from Global Esports, we have to see how they will continue to develop these teams. DRX managed to stay on top, and for Global Esports, hopefully they get to climb up.
Wonyet looks so happy to be here. And he also
Oh, you
looks
RiftTube.
pretty
Buckle
young.
in. Thank you for joining in.
He's pretty young.
I appreciate that. He just looks a little excited, going to the stage, sweaty palms. We do have a live audience, which is always a great experience for all of these teams. I think it's not their first time in front of a live audience, but I think it's been a while since you've had consistently, every single weekend, a live audience watching you.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate to have it for a bit longer than the other regions out here in Korea. Obviously, from our playoffs, we started having it back in stage 2. But now having 3 days of play every single week. A live
No
audience
Eskerosi
there,
again.
It's wonderful to see, but it's also great to see the other regions finally being able to enjoy that. What with Americas and EMEA having kicked off now, but our stage is better. So
Hey, hear that? Love
That's
our
right.
stage.
We got more heart on our stage. Lotus banned, so they straight up banned. Given G's performance.
this is this is not even to do with
No?
Global Esports performance. I'm not even trying to disrespect GE. They did look strong. They have looked strong on Lotus, but it has absolutely nothing to do with it. DRX is just not going to show Lotus until they feel confident in their play. And honestly, that might not happen even at Tokyo. It might happen at Champions, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see Lotus from DRX this entire year. Haven is selected. I kind of question that one being left open by the side of GE. Maybe they feel confident on it after besting T1.
Yo,
It
Nick.
did look quite strong, but that has always been an incredibly strong map for DRX. So that one, I'm not sure about.
It's a little bit tricky, but Split then being the second pick, that one kind of seems as if they want to exploit the fact that none of the current teams have played Split so far.
I mean, but DRX
I know.
has played it. They played it at Lock-In.
I
The other thing
know.
is that GE selected Split versus Vitality,
And they lost.
and it was not great.
I know.
It was actually the same score that they beat T1 on Haven. It was a 4-13 loss to them.
Opposite.
So yeah, obviously they must feel like they've got a very strong read on Haven. They've got to be feeling very good about their performance versus T1 on that map. I'm guessing that they've also improved things, and they have watched tape on DRX and have a decent understanding of what they're going to look to do there. But the Split, that is where I have probably the most concerns.
Yeah. So I guess hopefully it's going to be either one of these maps that G finds a bit of a strong start to. Otherwise, we just get to see DRX continue to grow their ceiling. And then when it comes down to the agent select as well, this is where I have a bit of curiosity, seeing what they will pick. Of course, on the side of DRX, this is tried and true. We've got that flash and dash.
At this
Reach
point, I'm
Jet.
just hoping for not a
This time,
one-sided
of course,
game.
will be the new Jet. And then RB back to the Sova.
Yeah, I mean, this is bread and butter for Stacks being on that breach. And RB has
Damn, look
played
at that
Sova
rage.
many a time. This was, you know, he's been playing it since they had Lakia on the squad, and everyone's saying, why the hell is RB playing Sova? You have Lakia, why not have him play? And then they did sub in Lakia, and then things didn't go so well. So, RB has proven himself to be just an incredible player. My biggest concern for GE is going to be going into Haven, you know, breachless, not having that combo. But so we'll see how they decide to pilot this.
I mean, this
You
was
gotta-
the same comp that they played last week against T1. Maybe they found a bit of success. Maybe they want to continue to try it, and hopefully they will be able to find some bits of success. Their pistols have been pretty good so
And
far,
this production
especially
is nice.
locked in.
Oh, it's
On to
always.
the next one. We'll see how it works out.
Man, we are talking like we're looking at a funeral right now, and I really hope that's not the case. I want
does look
Global
pretty cool,
Esports
huh?
to, like you said, Quack, at least get one map. Show their.
That looks
worth
pretty
here.
cool, isn't it? With
So
all the
without
animation
all
and
there's
everything.
left to do is to
Nicholas.
get into the game and hear from our casters. We have
Come on.
William, and William, tell me, who is that dashing lad standing next to you today at the caster desk?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce my friend
Tell
here,
him, William.
Brendan Valdez. He's a dashing man. Honestly, what else am I supposed to say about you? We're excited to be here for VCT Pacific. And, I mean, we were looking at the map ban pick as well. And, you know, we've got some questions, right? The Haven, somewhat obvious, but then the split, I mean, Global Esports really trying to bank on that for map 2. But first of all, they're going to have to get through this Haven, which they did play well on last week.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I think that, you know, a lot of confidence in their own play on this map. We often hear from pro teams, they're like, well, we're not even considering what the other team is thinking. We looked good on this map. We want to get into it, and we want to take it down. Obviously, DRX very strong on this one, which should make for a very exciting map number 1. As Haven,
What do you think,
we did see
Rift?
Global
Do we have
Esports
chance
13 to 4
against
in season 1.
DRX?
And you were pointing out to me, William, they were running the same exact
Do you think we actually have chance
They were
against
going with
DRX?
no Sova last week, they're sticking with
Nicholas.
it again. Now, they were using, you know, the dual flashes to great efficiency, right? Really just setting up a lot of ways for Texture to break through. And then you have the paranoia from Monette as well. So technically 3 different types of flashes here for Global Esports. Now, you're going up against a team who, once they have tape, they know how to prep for you. I'm curious what the plans are going to be. Of course, the read coming out from DRX that it's going to be an early A push here.
Yes, waiting in position. Out comes Foxy9, gonna pick up one.
That was
And
nice
taking out
flash
that
push,
Aaron,
but
and
no.
winning that fight as well.
Come
is
on,
Global
man.
Esports, so already off to a good start for them.
Ooh,
80-20.
no, I don't think Global Esports
That's-
necessarily suspected that to come in, but hold on, we'll see. Oh, okay, well, Stacks.
That's not nice
Not
odds.
much hope there, Buzz probably just.
The idea was good, but
It is a 1v4.
I guess he.
That's it, Ronsky with the 3K to start us off. And already, Global Esports off to a fantastic start. A very aggressive push out from Foxy9 to try to take them on long did not quite work out for DRX.
Now, I like the idea, right? We don't see that too often, especially not on pistol rounds coming out from DRX. A bit of a gamble. Now, what I think happens here is if Foxy9 didn't get that first kill, the backup actually just
I
backs
mean,
off as
gee,
well.
getting
He's
pistol
like,
round
let's
against
see who gets the
DRX
first kill.
off
They
the
say,
bat.
No, they're still paranoid. Let's all flood in, try to finish this round early, and then they're just not quick enough. Global Esports recovers, and they're able to get that quick and easy pistol round.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff from DRX to get this aggressive from the defender side. This time, Global Esports going to be setting up around mid, maybe looking for some picks before we do get going on this one.
Oh, I like that from Aaron, right? Even with the Spectre, just breaking that door to see if anyone tries to swivel off of that, right? Just to get an easy pick. Try to figure out where DRX is, because when the opponents are on an eco, you want to try to figure out what's their gamble, because usually it's a stack. Now, DRX is playing non-traditionally compared to most teams, where they're just saying, just play default. Even if it's pistols, get whatever 1v1s we can.
Oh,
And then let's go
Foxy
from
got
there.
caught.
Foxy9 being spotted, so yeah, Global, they should just try to force to keep him
Nobody
there.
pushed
You
him?
know there's backup as well, and then rotate to the other side.
Interesting.
Doing a great job of that
Nobody
here.
pushed him, dude.
Trying to take this second round, and you can see there's only
Rift.
Mako on the site trying to get whatever kills he can. Spots him, but immediately gets
Ooh.
taken out by Texture, as it is not looking very great
Ooh,
for him.
texture, baby.
Gonna take down 2.
Yeah, I mean, Mako, he makes the best choice he can, not hiding in the smoke, which is a bit more obvious. He tries to hang back. the very back corner and get an easy pick, but they're working with just classics here for DRX. Now, if this is a flawless for Global, though, they could go for another quick rush in round 3, and that could spell trouble for DRX.
That's a 4K for Texture already, who has started off looking very strong from the pistol round and on, and there's that flawless you were talking about. Is very nicely handled, very calm play here on the attack until they go for the push from Global Esports.
Man, I gotta say, there was a time when the crowd would go wild for Texture plays, but because they're up against DRX right now, I mean, it is 5 Korean players on the other side here in Seoul, so there, a lot of the fans trying to cheer for DRX, holding their breath. We'll see Global. I mean, no surprise here, right? You get to keep all your weapons, and they didn't buy up to Vandals or Phantoms, so it's 4 Spectres. They're gonna go for a rush. Now, my big question is Mako. It looks like he's poised to just stick this.
He is going to get one, but immediately gets taken out by the bull.
Damn, nice round. Yeah, man. The Texture is playing super aggressive. I wish we can get this round too.
You can never doubt that. Buzz will always have a shorty in his back pocket.
At the same time, Buzz still here.
Dude, they still fucking there, man.
He is trying to hold down the site pretty much alone. Wasi seeing what he can do. 1v3, but he gets shot down through the box. Foxy9 will clean things up. DRX will take down the bonus round.
Wow, what a good hold from Buzz. I was a little concerned, right? Because Mako gets 1 kill, so then Buzz tries to flood the site with him. Mako actually gets taken out seconds before, and then Buzz is all alone, but you know this guy loves to shorty. I mean, he was putting up, I think, one of, if not the most shorty kills over at Lock-In as well. So, I mean, he knows which angles to hold if he's being pressured on his own, and then backup arrives in the form of the drone as well as some of the flashes coming out. And you know, Buzz, he didn't get to play week 1. He's back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and consider that Global Esports, they were on the site. They had a very good entry as Foxy9 is going to just pick up a quick headshot here on long. And still, Buzz was just able to hold it down all by his lonesome, essentially, until his teammates came over.
सुबह से क्या सुबह से? Welcome to the stream, Ujjwal Bakalain.
They might have been overwhelmed on that site. So now DRX going to start off in a very good spot with that opening kill onto a very important member of Texture.
Yeah, without the jet, I mean, what more can you do? Your comp revolves around setting up for Texture, right? You don't have any solid info like the Silver or the Fade. You're really just working off of these flashes to set them up. So Global Esports are cutting noise, but they don't have the site work yet. Wow.
Well, a very common spot to, do little bunny hops and check. And Ronsky is going to put an end to that nonsense, and Foxy9 gets a little bit of revenge here in Sewers.
Foxy9's kill was so important because otherwise DRX would be left guessing whether they would rotate or not off of that kill. Now Foxy9 getting that kill knows that means Global Esports still was, trying to contemplate their ideas. Now that they're down to 30 seconds and none of the Killjoy utility has been tripped, DRX has a fairly good idea that this is going to be A.
Absolutely, and here they come. Spots Ronsky, Foxy9 in the corner. They do not check this angle, and that is a 4K already for him. As RB is going to clean up that last person.
That push, what the fuck was that?
DRX going to tie things up.
Now, DRX so far, they've been sticking with the Vanish. Yeah, I was wondering if you go right up to the operator, and you might as well. You also have the blade sword if you need to make close plays. But plays like this, right? Pushing out on top of the boxes there on A main, those are not plays we're used to seeing from DRX on defense, especially on A-side, because this is one of the few teams that is actually very confident in their A retake. But I like their adjustments because they know that Global likes to hit hard and fast onto this A site.
And that's a way to get in their heads from the get-go. Just say, nope, you will not be able to do this. We will be shutting this down. We will be getting aggressive. Here's Foxy9. He's got the op. Looking for the pick, does not hit that first shot. As knives are out. That's going to be one on Tabazi.
They're going to try to hunt this down, though. It's an eco anyway.
Ooh.
But he's not stopping.
Damn.
Yeah, this chase down
Rift.
Really working out for them as he's just lining up shot after shot. Misses the first one, but
It's not looking good now.
Clean Texture. Gonna look to peek the angle with Monyet distracting, but Foxy9 has none of that.
Ooh.
So a couple knives on RB though.
Oh my somebody. Oh lord.
Shorty in the smoke. Foxy9 is buying so much time.
Yeah, Foxy just trying to. Oh, Foxy loves doing this, by the way. Just updrafting just to gain info and try to stay alive. Buzz, no, don't do it, Buzz.
Yeah. Monyet gonna go down. 1v3 there, trying to make his way onto the site. Not going to happen. So DRX 3 rounds in a row, and they hold on to that operator.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, right? They get to keep that operator, the investment, and Foxy, he whiffs on the first one, but he will be able to climb back with a couple extra kills for his bang.
Taking out the jet, had the knives out, especially since it's texture, right? You wanna take him out there before you really get swarmed on the A side. And so far, all of the takes from Global Esports outside of the pistol round have been unsuccessful onto the A side.
GS has a read on this.
Oof.
Oh, but Foxy's just a bit quicker.
He's
I think their idea
destroying.
was, do you push out of garage? And if you don't, let's break the Killjoy Util. I think that call is finally coming in for Global Esports. But Foxy 9
Didn't even use
just
his dash.
quicker. And here's the thing, that's why a lot of people have been excited to see him on this DRX squad, is his opping is so confident.
Yeah, it's not really fair when a guy can just come out here and confidently peek 3 people, get a pick, and get away, right? It's pretty rough.
Yeah, with nary a scratch, so. And then now he's rotated back to A already, and then on top of that, RB already has info.
Yep.
But look at this. I mean, they keep using utility to plant him forward, which is not what DRX usually does. Global Esports, they're just getting bashed around left and right.
Yeah, 2 op kills already for Foxy 9, and if you keep slowly peeking the corners, he will continue to slowly take you out. As now push on to B through the courtyard. Let's see if this works out. A couple smokes already down, but 3 members of D on the site as they look for Mako. The spray through, and they do get Mako, as he was the only one on the site at the time. Stacks here trying to line it up, but gets 2v1'd, and all of a sudden, little chance here, but RB with the 2K looking for Aaron, who is on the site. They did not get the spike down.
Yeah, time is not on Aaron's side. The Blade Storm's at the ready. Yeah, Foxy 9's just trying to play for time. They want to play this as a strong 2v1 here.
Oh, he did not get the blitz. He cancels it early and 2 seconds to go. That's just going to be Buzz waiting it out, as that will be the round over to DRX. And Aaron at least is going to pick up the kill, but oh, he's going to be kicking himself for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Foxy 9 making the play to say, you know what, we have good econ, so let's just stop the plant. Instead, let's just deny the team credits going over to the other side. I like that idea, right? I mean, yes, you know, you can argue you had the operator, was it really worth it? You could go for a 2v1 retake, but listen, with movement like Foxy 9's, you might as well. He scares him off the plant. And I was wondering if maybe even the Hunter's Fury just to play for time, but DRX seems confident that they want to save that for later. Wow.
Very funny round, actually. What with the craziness. And Aaron doesn't look...
Oh, that was a
disturbed.
crazy one tap, huh?
Got the 2 kills, and they will take a timeout from here.
Yeah, I mean, they at least get the operator out of their hands, so they're going to have to reinvest into that. Because, you know, if they're able to carry that forward another round, I mean, you got to imagine that their econ's going to look pretty strong for the
Hello,
rest
Korea.
of the
DRX
first
fighting.
half.
Oh my god.
So we've got some hands for DRX here, but on the right side, it's actually for Texture. Nada is his Korean name.
Yeah.
So cheering for Texture as well. So got fans cheering for both sides. I mean, here's the thing. Global Esports, we've talked about this several times on the desk and the cast. I mean, they are quite a star-studded lineup if you look at them individually across different countries and regions. So it's no surprise that there's a big following for this squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with all that confidence in their own play, perhaps, you know, challenging...
SniffaPuff करी खिलाए तुम्हें.
Trying to take the win from map 1 could be a way to get...
अभी नहीं, अभी रोजा है मेरा.
Split coming up for map 2. As
Map choice किसका है?
can stop the onslaught of DRX, who
DRX.
has 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, so DRX, they particularly saved the Hunter's Fury because of the lockdown coming up for Aaron, right? So they want to just make sure they counter any of these hard execs coming in from Global Esports. Now, I like the changes from Global. They're finally starting to figure out where are the Killjoy abilities being used by Buzz, just so we can disrupt them early on in the round.
Oh, he misses. And Buzz now, he's got to kind of concede the garage for now, as he will go back onto the C site. But you'll note that, gee, you're taking this very slow. They have not pushed in.
फिर से मतलब?
Yeah, the problem being...
फिर से का क्या मतलब होता है?
C9, yeah, hiding here, and I don't think...
पूरे month चलता है ना वो तो फिर से और...
Finally will. So they know that this information's been given up. This
You fast for the whole month.
that they actually just have to go see. They don't have any other options here. And DRX is ready for it. They've already flooded it with 3 people.
There you go. SkyAlt comes out as they move on to the C site. And already in the smoke is Texture. Let's see if Stax has got it. Okay, Buzz gonna get one, but Texture following up. They clear out the C site. Now will get that spike down.
राउंड निकला गाइस, लेट्स गो। अरे एक तो इस मैप में साला अटैकिंग राउंड, अटैकिंग टीम को ज्यादा राउंड निकलना चाहिए ना, अटैकिंग मैप है।
A little bit further behind, but right as they're about to enter, they pop the Seekers first, and then the null command on top of it, and that means that you don't respond fast enough. Your utility's all tied up for DRX. They've already chosen to flood the site, so they actually just have
देखते
to
हैं कितना राउंड
those
निकालते हैं
tools,
जी।
but you're simply outnumbered. So a great setup from Global Esports. This is a round they needed to win by investing all these ultimates.
That's pretty cool to see. You know, that's one way to essentially
टाइम अच्छा राउंड निकाला, राउंड तो अच्छा
DRX.
निकाला।
And it started off with
जबकि
kind of
केजे पे
slow
पुश किया,
barrage.
डर गए थे पहली बार।
Start with that, take it over and charge on through. And with enough
वो वाला राउंड था ना, बाय इन राउंड था जब DRX का,
Global Esports, only one
उसमें
round
पुश किया था
behind,
तो
so sticking in it so
केजे
far
ने
is
गंदा मारा था
Yeah, I mean,
बॉक्सेस के
listen, a
पीछे
lot
लेफ्ट
of
राइट खेल
people,
खेल के,
this
वहाँ
will
वहाँ
be a
तब से पुश नहीं कर
very
रहे थे उस पे।
one-sided affair, I would say so far. Global is putting up a fight now. Of course, DRX isn't really showing
One-sided
super much of their hand.
affair?
They're playing very default heavy, especially with the operator. They got a little frisky in the first couple of rounds.
अबे
but
एक ही राउंड
nothing
ज्यादा
special.
जीते हैं,
One
what the
big
fuck is
question
this?
Win or lose, can Global Esports start to force other setups here coming out from DRX? Because otherwise,
ये
listen,
casting-
Foxy, let's
casting
have
biased
both
हो रही है,
teams
guys.
who are A short with the operator.
बाइस्ड कास्टिंग कह रहा है वन साइडेड अफेयर, साला एक राउंड वो जीते हैं, वन साइडेड अफेयर बता रहा है।
Knife was used, but is going to be holding this one down as we do see Global is setting up with 4 guys outside of lobby.
Okay, Fox, he gets a little greedy trying to pop that Trailblazer. He has been very good about crouching underneath that turret not to get spotted.
Oh, meanwhile, okay, just
Yeah, Monyet just sticks that ultimate, a bit
Yeah.
risky.
and he is
On
ready
his
to
spawn
take
पे
him
TP
down.
मार रहा
So
था
they
भाई।
are on the east side, but they don't really have a good idea of where the members of DRX are as they clear them out. And
ये
now
साइड का
it's
पुश
gonna
बड़ा
come
बुरा है यार,
back away as DRX
नहीं हो रहा
are
इन
in
लोगों से।
position with 5 guys around the site.
If Global Esports, if you wanted to really just stick to this A site rush heavily, I almost think from the shadows from Monyet, maybe he was better just in the site, right? Just to check if backup has arrived or not. Unfortunately, he tries to greed a lot more space with it. And backup was already there, right? I think the reason Global Esports still continues is because they realize Stacks comes to kill him. They're like, okay, they haven't entered the site yet, but RB was already there, right? And then the breach utility can still come in to back up. So a bit of a tough round for Global Esports. And I think what we're starting to see is they haven't figured out an answer for this operator just yet.
And so they're just going to save on this one. Not going to look to get on in there.
Revealing area.
As DRX
10
just
seconds left.
waiting it out as well. It's going to put DRX at 5 and 3 in this map so far.
Yeah, Global Esports, while their econ, if they wanted, they could still buy up next round, but I think they're considering, listen, it's already a 5v2, they have an operator, and we don't want to give Buzz his lockdown for free, right?
Beerus, Pixel Gully, what do you mean question mark?
I mean, yeah, it's ideal if we get a couple guns out away from their hands, but if eventually they're going to keep the operator anyway, no big deal. Let's just save it and play the long run, because there's still, there's still a handful of rounds left here in the first half.
Still
What's
got
up?
some time.
Buckle
He's
in.
gonna be playing up on top of the middle of B. As he will be looking into the window.
Gonna push out as Foxy covers him. I think so. He's just gonna check for any garage movement. Of course, not gonna go all the way out as the.
Why there's a question mark?
But look how fast Stacks is on that rotation on the map, right? They hear all this noise.
मतलब, are you from Pixel Gully? Yes, yes, yes.
Towards garage. They don't see any of it. Killjoy util is
Yes, I am.
strong. So
Beerus.
a relative stack here on the A side already for DRX. Now, Global Esports, they're looking for a fake here.
Okay, see a flash come out. We got the drone here as well. Really just trying to get as much info as possible. But everybody does avoid the eyes of the drone. At the same time, very slow play here from Global, taking their time. As it does look like they are ramping up for an A push. Although,
yes,
मैं Fisk का friend. Nice, man. Welcome to my stream.
A type of fake one side
Buckle in.
other, but since they don't have any hard info,
You watch Valorant?
Sky, because they want to signify the Trailblazer is where we want to go. Now that they don't see anyone
Valorant देखते हो आप?
garage. Yeah, okay, they get the better read. Aaron says, okay, we still saw the Killjoy over on that side. Let's just put the lockdown here for the fake.
I play.
Bite on this.
30 seconds left.
oh, we'll see.
Of course,
Stacks is moving behind through spawn.
you play, but you don't watch.
The push is actually coming in onto A. Mako gonna hold it down. Stacks picks up a second. As meanwhile, the push onto A is.
And that A push is hard, man.
Mako in position. Monyet able to get two though. As out with the.
This guy, man, always having a shorty in his back pocket.
This plant is getting down.
Ascendant 3 last act, up act, Ascendant 1. Good. Still my question is the same. Do you Valorant dekhte ho?
He's trying to hop through the smoke and down he goes. Monyet picks up a fourth.
अभी तक मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं मिला मुझे.
Kind of round in that one, but it certainly works out.
I mean, they had me guessing for a couple moments as well, right? Because it was very clear they wanted to do a fake one side or the other, but then bring the sky back.
थोड़ा बहुत
I
देखता
wondered
हूँ.
if they actually just send in texture on A side and then use the Trailblazer to slow enter into C. No, the idea was
खेलना ज़्यादा पसंद है. हाँ, कुछ लोग नहीं देखते ना, कुछ लोग देखना ज़्यादा पसंद नहीं करते. खेलते हैं. वही मैं पूछ रहा था, इसीलिए देखते हो. फिर मैं वैसे अगर थोड़ा बहुत देखते हो तो हमारी फेवरेट टीम कौन सी है? वैसे इंडिया में फेवरेट टीम कौन सी है?
Is very high for Global because they are playing round for rounds with DRX, and Monyet essentially just pushed on perfect timing through the smoke onto A and caught them with their pants down, and that is going to be a huge boost to the feelings here for the side of Global, as now trying to set up in mid in courtyard and see if they can make a push on the B.
Yeah, I think Global right now, what they ideally want is to draw out some of these hard ultimates like the Rolling Thunder or the lockdown, right? Try to just
ये B push कर रहा है बहुत slow.
Here on B and then get out quickly afterwards if they can. They've checked Killjoy as well, not just her utility.
Ooh.
And Buzz after that, this time he's going to push forward as the drone going to spot a very sneaky texture.
Now the problem is, now they put up a good smoke on A lobby just to keep Foxy9.
हाँ अच्छा ट्राई कर रहा है. देखने में वो वाली फीलिंग नहीं आती कि ये बंदा वो सिचुएशन ये क्या ये करता तो राउंड निकल जाता. मतलब वो वाली फीलिंग आती है that you can't call their mistakes out. तो मैं फ्रस्ट्रेशन से बचने के लिए नहीं कम देखता हूँ. Good. I say I watch Valorant to I don't know. I just enjoy watching. I like to understand things in a different perspective. Like what I'm doing and what everybody else doing. So this is probably the easiest way to understand. Ooh. White peak, yo, come on.
On this one, as he does have an ability to try to stop this one in the 3 different smokes, but down he gets taken by Buzz's shorty. And that should be enough time. Yes, it will.
Just, oh man.
If he would have killed the stacks. I play myself. मैं क्या गलत कर रहा हूँ वो मैं at least खुद सही कर सकता हूँ easy. नहीं गलत कर रहा हूँ सही नहीं करना है. मेरे साथ you are taking this wrong way. गलत करना हुआ सही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. मैं क्या नहीं कर रहा हूँ. देखो कोई भी कितना भी अच्छा Valorant player हो. Like I don't know who you consider the best Valorant player on planet. He also make mistakes. ठीक है गलतियां तो सभी करते हैं और कुछ ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जो उनके भी दिमाग में नहीं आती. तो I just watch that what I do that is different from what they do.
Okay, so Global, they're understanding how to push Foxy out of sewers. Okay, this time they commit even better to it. They want to
उनको देखकर अब ये गलत कर दिया बोलने में हमारा कोई फायदा नहीं. मैं नहीं बोलता कभी कि वो गलत कर दिया. I just watch. Like गलत क्या कर दिया मतलब नहीं. It's like उनका गलत करना like दूसरों के लिए सीख होती है ना. What you shouldn't do, what you should. हाँ क्या नहीं. Got your point. Okay. मैंने भी हम पीक उनसे ही सीखा है. What? Pop and swing.
Global Esports also just trying to favor the rifles in case Mako wants to get crafty, but he just says, all right, well,
what's a humpy?
And Foxy9 low on their econ, so let's make sure we can even out all of our buys. I would guess that Global, they are going to take it. Okay. Well, he could also
Ferrari peak. Fuck, almost निकल गया था यार. हाँ.
See his texture open up the round with the operator in the coming round, the last round of the half, and then he'll toss it over to Botsy or somebody else. As he goes in with a rifle. They could also just trade if that's the plan here.
And a Thrifty in round 11 from the side of Global, and it should boost them through into this final
I
round.
recently learned a really good thing. I was watching Valorant last night. मैं रात में Valorant देख रहा था और एक बंदे ने क्या
Very importantly, made it a little bit even towards the end.
पिक्सल गैली के नेक्स्ट एपिसोड का क्या सीन है मेरे को तो अभी इसके बारे में कुछ पता है नहीं. अभी कोई वैसे कोई नेक्स्ट एपिसोड का कुछ सीन है नहीं. बाकी कोलैबोरेशंस आने वाली होंगी हो सकता है मगर I don't think so. But you're talking about that event, the game show, isn't it? Look at this aggressive play, man. Oof.
Foxy, as he is pretty far up here, also has a stinger, just in case.
Oh, they read him. There's gonna be a push.
Especially in that close range, it's going to do wonders. Of course, the Blade Storm available for when he eventually might want to get the.
Nah, I have no idea.
Give up a lobby. They know that DRX is
No, I don't think so. Even
on that area, yeah, they're going to.
anybody have any idea about that?
I like all this utility, the Sky utility usage coming out from Global Esports. They're trying to make sure they confirm what information that DRX has.
Ooh, that's bad.
Oh, they don't know. He doesn't get hit. He's gonna get two headshots in a row. Unbelievable, Foxy 9. The
Damn.
timing.
He fucking clicked head, dude.
And then to click
Wow.
heads, unbelievable stuff as now Global 3v5 have to push in this last round of the half.
And let's just say that
4
moment
month
is
and
exactly
कुछ
the
टाइम तो
value that Foxy 9
मैं
brings to
वैल्यू
the
से
squad.
ब्रेक पर
Being
ही
able to
था.
make
ओ
that
ओके
decision of, I can
अब
try to
एक
get
मंथ
ahead
से
of
फिर
this
से
guy
स्टार्ट
tonight
किया है.
just to catch
Good.
them off guard, the types of risky plays that DRX usually does not make.
Yeah, now they're trying to force this onto me. Already a lot of damage taken by Ronsky, just by a turret and etc. As here on the site they are, Texter gonna pick up one as he updrafts, and it's pretty obvious where he is. DRX going to pick up 7 on defense on Haven.
What a decision coming out from Foxy 9. And I gotta imagine that was all his own decision making because a backup had already kind of left. They just planted him there. He realized
He's
that
playing
the
aim lab,
players
yeah.
being used,
Look at
I
that.
think, are being
Boop, boop.
wasted for him.
Boop boop.
And then
Oh
he's
my.
shooting light, and he gets
Nasty.
2 kills as well, just
Jesus.
with that Blade Storm.
Sometimes it's
There's-
not easy to land those headshots, especially when they're running.
There is not a million fucking years
You know what direction they're
right
going.
now I can do that.
Foxy 9, you see, he's really excited.
Yeah.
Kind of giggling like.
आप ही
a
क्या
little
रहेंगे
kid.
current
There
highest?
is, probably doesn't feel like a little kid for Global Esports.
Almost ascended in 3 पहुंच गया था मैं. I was one match, literally one match away.
On the stage right
Current,
now, and I think
one match away to
especially
ascend
proud
into.
because a lot of the Korean fans, while they've been excited to see Foxy 9 play, they still had the question of, okay, yeah, but you still haven't gone up against the likes of Texture or Meteor, the other Korean Jets that we know that have played on other teams even abroad and proven themselves. So how good are you really, right? We're not going to hype you up just yet. He comes in and says, well, I can go toe-to-toe, if not ahead of the likes of Texture.
Well, so far he has proven that, I think, in this first round. It's still early times in the entire series, but a great start here for DRX and the rest of the squad. As you mentioned, though, playing pretty default still outside
Never
of Foxy
anymore,
9.
nah.
That's kind of what we did expect. A little bit of a wild card as love from Brazil.
Wow.
Made it all the way here.
I mean, after DRX's performance over in Sao Paulo, no surprise that we've got fans visiting from Brazil. Great to have them here in the studio tuned for DRX. And listen, this is why DRX has so many fans in Korea as well, because they've really been spearheading the Korean Valorant scene, right? And letting it be known to the world that Korea is here to compete, and now they help represent VCT Pacific. And now all these other teams have a chance to constantly play against DRX every week and try to get a good power check of what they can do to try to overtake this team eventually, who most people expect to still be #1 here this season.
Yeah, and so far, you know, it only has been a couple of weeks. We have many more to go, but it is looking that way from what we can tell from the play over the last couple of weeks. As here we go, we have swap side, DRX now on the attack. And from the minimap, looks like they are setting up for a bit of a play on to C.
Yeah, with the frenzies as well. They're just going to go hard and fast here. And no surprise, right? You know that Global also is going to have to play stacks. I mean, with the composition they have, their retakes are not going to be as strong if it's a full 5v5. So especially in a round like the pistol, and DRX just hoping that Global Esports doesn't win the gamble. They will still send the recon bolt, and it should be a safe entry.
Yeah, I mean, they are in here
मोस्ट दिमाग नेवर एनी मॉडल मोस्ट दिमाग खराब मोमेंट था जब वो 99 आरआर पे रुका भाई आई कैन फील यू ब्रदर आई कैन फील यू डेफिनेटली आई कैन फील यू बी राइट बैक होल्ड ऑन यार बहुत बुरा लगता है यार जब ऐसे रुक जाता है तो और वो एक मैच ही साला
gets one, but there is a guy in the window that they did not clear out. As Aaron and Monyet push on through, as now with utility out, he's being sprayed down. Foxy, though, is able to trade one back. Headshot from Texture. And this retake is happening. Global Esports with only RB left to take down.
Now, they are very low, but the shock dart doesn't do the job just yet.
Ooh, that's that peak. And now Aaron, okay, Aaron's going to pick it up, and the defuse will be stuck.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that was getting a little close because everyone was scratched up quite a bit. But I like it from Global. They understand that DRX also, if they get the site for free, they're going to have to push out to either C-Link or Garage. Both teams trying to fight for that space, but Global is there just in time to use their utility to fight back and push through from double angles.
और उसके बाद 4-5 मैच की लूजिंग स्ट्रीक एंड अप ऑन ascendant 2 यार it's it pisses you off.
Really what they needed, you know, if you go down 8-5, you give a couple of rounds over the side of DRX.
Hey, pistol round जीत रहे आज क्या बात है हम लोग?
Marshall out for Texture. Foxy 9 will be the unfortunate bait.
फिर मैंने वैल्यू डिलीट कर दिया 4 मंथ खराब.
So
close, huh? So close to ascendant. I mean so immortal.
Marshall. All right, Bozzy sees him, but because there's no backup, he doesn't try to stick the kill. I like that decision from Bozzy. Says, you know what, it's a Spectre long range. I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to wait and call for Ronski's help.
Yeah. They can play it safely. Trailblazer on.
Ow!
Classic headshot from that range. Very nicely done. As now Bozzy on the site is going to try to spray them down as they rush through the smoke. Yeah, the blind is too good, and Buzz is not going to get it done. Mako as well does get cleaned up.
Yo, what's up?
2 rounds now for Global Esports after the half.
Yeah,
I'm doing good. How you doing?
So only losing one member, not a bad place to be, right? Texture, he's going to continue to stick with that Marshall, try to save up for that operator in the coming rounds. Now the bonus is it's important here.
DRX versus G.
Lose this round, but most ideally, they actually get closer to their ult orbs.
Yes.
Through kills, I mean, right? Getting 2 or 3 weapons out of the opponent's hands, and if you ideally you can
yes
or Aaron to get these crucial retake ultimates. That's the most ideal scenario.
Live.
Yeah, I am live right now. You can watch.
Okay, on YouTube.
Yes. Your voice is going there too.
Similarly to what we saw.
Oh, wait, coming.
Maybe a push.
Come on, GE.
We are not going to be looking to go see long as now here comes Global out of lobby. RB is here, and that will be sort of stifled, but there are 4 members.
They're putting the alarm bar and they're watching it.
Global Esports, they're getting very greedy with this. You've already been spotted.
Oh, shot through the smoke though. Ronski gonna get one. RB
Monyet
is trying to take down Monyet. Finally does. A little bit late to help his teammate there as Buzz does poke out as well, and they have stifled the push for now, but already a couple of kills for Global.
Okay, but here's the thing. Bozzy is going to get his ultimate, right? I mean, unless he unfortunately dies to Spike. I mean, it's almost better for him right now to die to a member of DRX. So he'll get his ultimate. They've already taken away 2 weapons. Buzz is weak as well. So if Global can take out one more person here, ideally on Ronski, and then even if they lose a round, it's actually a very, very good position for Global to be in for the defending half.
Yeah. As see Ronski pushing his way through very slowly.
Clutch कर सकता है guys.
Out on long. Bozzy is going to be the one that has to check for this. Some shots thrown out, and Bozzy,
he's got a phantom.
Blind comes out, he gets one.
Ooh.
As there's another blind, and
oh!
The kill through the blind, but Ronski 1v1.
Bozzy almost.
Time though, as he does try to stick this, but a nice little shot will come through from RB.
Come on, Bozzy, everything.
From Global in that round is still going to make them feel pretty good.
Oh, a solid
Damn.
round. I mean, the only thing that might sting a little bit is that, you know, RB was able to get a couple of these extra points, and
आज फिर से खेलना शुरू किया है प्लेसमेंट गोल 3 मिला अब फिर से यहाँ से ascendant 1 मन नहीं है immortal तक पुश करने का 99 आर का डर
you are now in a position where you have the full set of utility that you've always wanted on the defensive half. This allows him
Can't
to
believe
not
it.
have to stack a site.
अरे हो
the
जाएगा,
operator
tension ना ले.
can hold on to that site
कर
for
लेगा
a
इस
bit
बार.
longer on his own.
दिल्ली में कहाँ से हो? साउथ दिल्ली.
Yeah, that's what Texas is gonna be looking for here. See if he can do what Foxy did in the last round. He is going to miss that first shot. As here comes DRX. Drone going to be thrown into sewers just to try to clear this one out.
Now, this is the big difference between DRX and Global, right? They're not sticking just to chase down this operator. They actually keep fishing for information in mid, and they're going to slow
Texture
forward.
Here.
Oh, I think he knows, though. As
Yeah,
the
they know
shot's
it's
through,
across.
and there it is. Rossi
Oh my
right
God,
there.
set up, baby.
This is totally cleared up as Stacks.
Oh, Slacks on the left.
Slacks, he's being surrounded right now.
Oh,
Does
the
run
run
out of bullets. As Botsi is going to pick him up.
That was some good round.
Person dies on the side of Global as they tie things up. This is a very even map so far. Global absolutely could take it from here, and that would be a wonderful start for them.
Yeah, they can. And here's the other thing that I actually start to get a little concerned about. Oh, he actually saw the end of that shadow step as well. So, yeah, they knew it was a crossfire. But going back to my point, it's the fact that while Foxy and I is great individually, how much practice... Wow, Manya. How much practice have you had as a team, right? With
Manya
Mark,
laughing,
the show is
dude.
Fine, but it's not the original starting five to get these amazing site execs
Shot.
get back in and plant.
Ooh.
Texture
no.
is just shooting fish in a barrel. There were 4 of them out there on long. He's going to pick up 2. And he's still holding on to that operator. Yes, Aaron did go down, but yeah, they're holding on to this one pretty nicely. Botsi right here to stop any pokes through onto B.
Yeah, they saw Buzz in mid, so they're just hanging back, right? No reason to take any risks. Now, the reason they're trying to keep a little bit close to B site is ideally Global Esports also doesn't use any ultimates to save this round, right? And DRX now that...
Oh, man.
Well, I was about to say, ideally, they fish out some of these ultimates, but they're all just going to get taken out. I think at the start of the round, their idea was, hey, if the operator's on C, let's at least get a free ult orb and get what we can. But a timeout coming up from DRX. Listen, I'm not...
I think this is a good time to take a timeout, okay? They kind of got spanked a little bit in the last 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
They will have to come up with some kind of strategy to shut down this operator.
And the other thing is we know historically, Termy will not call timeouts unless he feels is absolutely necessary. We've seen many games against teams that DRX deems weaker where they might get caught up and tied, and you know, Termy just says, no, I trust in Stacks or Zest. They're going to make the right calls as the IGL. Obviously, currently it is Stacks, and he just lets them do their thing. But I think he's starting to realize, okay, Global Esports, they have a great opper. And now the way they're playing around that op is starting to change. In the beginning rounds, we saw Stacks make the calls of, okay, they're going to keep stacking A site. Let's try to see what we can do to break that open. But now with the operator, you got to start guessing where it is. And you got to go back to original DRX style. Just send that recon bolt early, right? Figure out where is the operator and then start to make your move.
Yeah, it feels like they have been rushing just a little bit. Maybe that's what Termy is going to get into the comms and say and talk about here. Because, as you mentioned, I think, you know, DRX, they should be confident in their abilities. They are the favorites to take this map and this entire series. So, kind of calm things down, reassess, you know, what the strategy is going to be. That's what you have to do with this absolutely necessary timeout. As guys on the analyst desk, they were saying, okay, Mako, he's the pinnacle of consistency. Currently not really showing up for the team. He's actually only had 3 kills so far, which is not a great look to start off here on this first map, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen him with a score like that. Now, operator does go on to the C
He's
side.
improving day by day. Yeah, they are.
Open for retakes, right? And the reason they're doing this is they have ultimates as well. So let DRX use their ultimates for free to get into the site. DRX correctly saving theirs to fight against the retake as well. Both teams are very aware of the ult economy right now.
Yeah, and that is going to be the plants. Setting up out here in the courtyard as the Seekers are here, the Trailblazer as well. Foxy 9 a little bit of trouble. The push out through the smoke is pretty strong.
Ooh.
Foxy 9, yes, he gets 1, but
Come on, get.
out here is great. Manya from Garage.
Oh, come on, Manya.
Will get 1, and the defuse is coming in the smoke, but a nice shot from Buzz.
Half is done.
Texture, he has to take him down. Shorty here, lots of time bought by Buzz.
You know that the half defuse is there for Texture.
Oh, the shot is there. The spray down as Buzz will be able to just barely hold on to this round for his team.
Wow,
That was so close.
Very close. And props to
That was
Global.
close,
The way
man.
they pushed
Damn,
out
I
of
thought we had
the
it.
way they chained their flashes and then pushed
Oh
out
man,
inside.
Monye, why are you missing
Very
today,
good.
brother?
Gets timing to push out of garage was very good, but RB actually holds strong. If he doesn't get that
Monye
double, he doesn't
missing,
have time to
dude.
lose Hunter's Fury, and then Batsy might have even stuck the whole defuse.
You can see, you know, some nices being thrown around, but still almost a sigh of relief from Stacks as it was very close, back and forth rounds, and Global are going toe-to-toe with one of our best teams here in the entire league.
If
So
Monye would have hit that,
fun
it would have been
stuff
over.
So far. It's what is going to be the choice from DRX this time, as Aaron, much like we saw from Buzz, on defense is setting up in the exact same place.
Yeah, just gonna do a heavier C stack.
ये DRX से
I
मैं
think
पे.
Global Esports almost gambling that DRX will want to go C because they've had the operator on A site so many times. Right now, they don't have crucial ultimates for an easy retake on A, so I am curious if DRX gets the plant without a Sova or a Fade, what does your retake look like? Yes, you have a bunch of flashes to try to get a good angle, but you know, emptying the site against the Rolling Thunder, that's fine, but there's still so much more for DRX. You've still got the lockdown. Yeah, and if you're DRX, I think you might even just use this to be safe.
Yeah, maybe just to get it slowly moving on the map towards your favor. As Spike is planted. Ronsky
You should run.
looking to come on in, and
There
there
you
it is.
DRX का आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
Not going to be messing around with this one.
Yeah, there's no easy way to take that out. The reason he waits is to really
DRX का,
maximize the time.
DRX.
Both teams, they're not looking great on their economy, right? Global has money, but not money to keep buying operators.
They're running away.
They want to save it.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, DRX, the delayed lockdown leads to the save. So Global says, you know what? Let's prioritize keeping the operator. We took out 2 huge ultimates from the other side.
Yeah.
I actually give a big round of applause to Aaron for this call because it's a tough one to make in a 5v5.
Yeah, it's so close, right? Every single round matters now. So if you give a one away essentially for free,
Full team
as
safe, what the
mentioned,
fuck?
it's not actually for free, just because of the ultimate economy and stuff like that, especially towards the end of the map. It can be rough, but I think it's the right call.
I think it
You
was a
build up
right
your
call.
economy and maybe you'll get a better chance next time.
I
They
feel
do
like
call
it was
timeout
a
as
right
well.
call.
So they say, okay, we're really slowing things down. We have the time at the end of the round to talk. We have this timeout to talk, and let's gather ourselves for the push to the victory.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, you know, by saving, they have a couple more seconds as well to discuss, calm down, reset at the end of the round. You know you're going to have full buys with the operator as well. That man right there is a senior in high
ये
school.
क्या हुआ? It's called
Come watch DRX.
It's called-
It is
it's
a Monday
called
here in Seoul, South Korea.
5-man save. Odd है.
Afternoon classes, it seems.
It's odd,
Going back
but
to
I
what
think
Global
I think I
is looking
understand
to
the
do
call.
here. I mean, you first of all, I think you take a look at the scoreboard and you realize, okay, because of Foxy 9, DRX is playing a very Foxy 9-centric style.
Global has really
especially
good
now
chance
that
to
they're
winning
on
this
the
map,
second side. You
okay?
gotta imagine
I'll explain it to
that
you
it's
guys.
all gonna be set up.
Okay.
It's different than when Buzz used to play. Buzz is actually more of a space creator.
I'll explain it to you why they saved it. Global has a really good chance to winning this map. If they would have lost this round, okay, with all the weapons they have, they would have definitely lost the next round too. So it would have been 11-9. 11-9 हो जाता तो, ठीक है? And then they have to come up to buy the guns on the 12th round. 12th. If they lose that, then it would have been pretty much over. So the reason they saved it.
Through the smoke he goes. Some spray.
Ooh, hold on.
They're pretending that it's not texture.
Ooh.
But he misses the shot.
Yeah. So the reason they saved is because there was a KJ ult that wasted a lot of time. They timed that KJ ult so perfect, and it wasted a lot of time. And they didn't had the retake KJ ult. If they had the KJ ult, they would have locked it and went in there. But they didn't have the ult,
Good spray as well from
and that wasted a lot of time. And then
Okay, it really comes down to Buzz.
they keep doing the ults after all because Ronsky was there. He popped his ult.
Watsi's goal here is just to draw enough attention until the rest of his team is ready to strike, and that's when he can go in the middle of the chaos.
Yeah, and they got to wrap around here. I'd be very curious to see what's happening in Garage with the op texture. Peeks out of Garage.
Come on, man.
Taking out Bondiat is there with him, but he's super low as okay.
Let's go.
A couple of kills, but running out of time now as one kill from Arim. It's a 1-on-1. Fuse is coming
The
in.
round-
He's not gonna stick it. And the shot. Oh, 6 health from Mako. He just
Oh yes!
kill Aaron.
But is it in time? I think he might be like 0.3 seconds late.
Oh, it's
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Oh, so close, Aaron. He did so much work, but Mako has the perfect timing to peek and force the fight right so he can't get the defuse on time.
Aaron's gotta be kicking
Now,
himself for not getting the kill early. And I
just because they
wonder
saved that round,
if there wasn't a
they have
call
buy for. They already had the buy, and now they have buy again.
Because otherwise you could have just sprayed the box as he was peeking instead of trying to go for the headshot. Missing that one. Stacks just praying here. Wow. I mean, listen, Global again. They play the idea correctly.
0.1 second, bro. That's all it takes. The one in your 99 RR.
They're getting really close on so many of these rounds.
Just one missing, huh?
Already with 9 rounds, you can say it's a quote-unquote victory, but that's not what they're looking for here. They want to take down.
जब एक RR missing हो ना, अब याद रखना बीरेस. If you missing one RR, do one thing. ऐसा स्निफा मैं बढ़िया हूँ Phoenix. You missing 1, 2, 5 RR, do one thing. I'll tell you what. You ready?
Just checking out all the corners, but after that, looks like they might push in through mid.
Yeah, so that has actually drawn Botsy back. We just saw him use the guiding light on A main. So DRX, it does give them a little bit more time, but Global Esports, they stacked C site. A was always going to be empty.
They have so much stuff on here from the Killjoy as well. The lockdown is in as
Raw match with match MVP exit.
Gets the push, gets the one, does actually shut down
No.
the lockdown. Oh, and,
Find 4 more Valorant player who are your friends. Give them fucking silver account and tell them to play with them. Play with me. One game. कहते सालों दोस्त बने हो ये तो करना पड़ेगा माँ के एक गेम तो खेलो बहन की शू तुम्हारे लिए मैं भी खेलूंगा जब ऐसे फंसोगे तो just do 5 stack with 4 silver IDs.
But they do know he left A because Texture was trying to keep sights of him. He heard the audio as well.
28 kill match हार गया एक बार. Damn, look at that.
They don't know where Buzz is. Now Buzz is very low.
6 health again.
Yeah, what is it with DRX?
Texture 2, 6 health, and down goes Buzz. Global this time, much easier. A lot more time.
Idea अच्छा है बे. Ah, sure.
Diffuse down.
And Valdez,
You welcome.
DRX not at match
अब आ
point,
जाओ.
just
मस्त खेलो Valorant. Tension free हो गया.
relax because they still want to make sure that they get to match point first. If they lose this next round and it goes 11-11, things could go either way because DRX's economy should start drying up again.
Nice shot, nice shot.
Good reads, like Ronsky just being here right on time. He hears the plans, like.
Snifa मेरे साथ खेल RR Smurf ID से.
Eraser, he's feeling pretty happy about things.
I can.
Just touched right at the performance of his players, and Ronsky too. He had a rough start in week 1, but he's coming in really proving his value on this deep roster of Global Esports.
Absolutely, they have proven it, each and every one of them individually. As here comes DRX, very fast. Foxy up top, as they are going to get this pretty easy plant down, and Global will play for the retake.
Yeah, Global understanding that this is going to be most likely Eco here coming in from DRX, so they actually sent 3 members to go back and make sure that there's no post-plant lineups being prepared like this.
Oh boy. Linet's going to clean it up. He's got 2 fish over there. Mako is going to be able to take down one as, yeah, just cleans him up as well. Everybody taken down, and Global will tie it up.
Okay. It comes down to this next round for both sides, right?
शाम को deal कर.
Global Esports, while they are starting to get this win streak, they're still losing weapons as well, so their econ not in.
Nice round. See, मैंने बोला था ना कि वो जो save था ना वो कमाल कर गया. वो save round कमाल कर गया. Save round के बाद वाला round हारे. उसके बाद भी फिर भी बाय था क्योंकि उससे पहले वाला round इन्होंने 5 stack save कर लिया था. Are we gonna fucking shit on DRX?
DRX are winning rounds, like to get the spike blow up and deny the defuse just barely was Mako on 6 health. Like,
yes.
It feels like they're just barely scraping by.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those were really off the back of Mako. And while we pointed out his KDA was, you know, not as high as we would normally like to see, Those couple rounds, he proves once again why we continue to call him just the most reliable, consistent player on DRX.
Who knows? We could. Aren't there 3 matches?
A incredibly
3 maps.
tense scenario for both of these teams, as you mentioned. Somebody
3 maps only if they
should have to
draw
take this round, and whoever
1 to
does is
1.
most likely going to get the 13 to 11. But we'll see. It all comes down to the play. DRX, I still feel like they should be in a relatively.
So which number is this? This is the first map, and this map is chosen by DRX.
They're on the attack here on Haven. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, now Global has no command and
Amma. Hold on, give me a second.
Global, you gotta dump these
Guys, make sure you like this stream.
to match point first, because that guarantees at the minimum overtime. It's gonna be a very default setup, right? Plant the operator in sewers, and then Botsy most likely will leave if they didn't get contact. Now they do get contact, so he's gonna have to stick around and actually call for Ronski's help as well.
Sure. Waiting.
Okay,
DRX are slow.
yeah, and Monyet actually pushes out into Cubby and C main as well. So the goal for Global Esports is just hang tight. Oh. Yeah, I mean, they just have to stay alive because Monyet already has so much information. He'll know when that C-Strike is coming if DRX rotates.
Yeah. And now can just throw down some smokes over here from A as ES. Gonna use that KO ult and just wait it out.
Now, okay, the Seekers, yes, yeah, I like that they use it at the 1 minute mark because you used the null command earlier, but you didn't actually confirm if DRX has left. Meanwhile, C-Site, we see it in the small screen.
Uh-oh. And there's the fight. Monyet's gonna win that little skirmish as the push from DRX's force. Boxy 9 with the entry. He's he gets a double headshot. As now, it's really up to him as Botsy behind the boxes. Botsy gets a third, he gets a fourth. As this guy has stepped up.
Fucking ace for him, man.
They needed it most.
Will he get another ace here in week 2? He wraps up the. Oh no, Stax is gonna steal it away. But I mean, what an explosive entry onto site. Wow.
Snifa ne cutting kara li.
That was insane. Give this guy the MVP already.
Absolutely. I mean, just off of that play, when they needed the most, like you said, Valdez, he understands that the op has already left, so he follows through as soon as he hears that shot.
cutting kara loge?
He has the timing in. Okay,
वो कह रहा है कि hair cutting.
So clean and crisp, like every peek he goes for, just lines it up.
हक दिया.
And now he's on
Initial frag मिल गया था यार उसके जेट को इतना. Honestly saying, Foxy ने खेला है बस उस वाले राउंड में अकेले घुस के मार के क्या कर सकता है कोई.
OT गया
30 frags. That's going to be a good thing for his record, right? A lot of people again continue to wonder what exactly is your power level, Foxy. We hear that you're fast, but how strong are you?
Ooh.
Well, this time
Texture is doing such a good job, bro.
They get the kill on a buzz. It's going to be a good start here for Global.
OT?
No Texture, he's got the Blade Storm as here comes Foxy. Actually, he's the one. As he's up in the sky. Stax, though, going to take that kill as Foxy 9, they spot Botsy as they are on the site and should be able
God damn, man. 3 stack था फिर भी side clear.
Clean up Foxy 9 while he was in the air hurts so much. He actually doesn't land
Shit.
any of the shots. And now a 3v4. Stax has Rolling Thunder as well.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
Botsy out of the window, they don't hold.
Oh, no Texture.
Monyet pushing in, but Foxy 9 gets 2 more, he gets 3, and he holds down the site as DRX will win it 13-11. 2 massive rounds.
Texture.
Player to DRX.
साला पूरा मैप इतना अच्छा खेला यार. लास्ट राउंड में हक दिया यार. Shit.
He was such a rising star. Why DRX wanted to pick him up. He does finish indeed with 30 kills on map number 1 on Haven. Listen, when we saw the 11-11 tie come back up, I started to wonder, oh boy, if they lose this, Foxy 9, a lot of people are going to say, okay, DRX, don't play around him, go back to your original 5, that used to work better. But no, Foxy 9 says, no, this can work, and the coach and the teammates.
OT जा सकता था आराम से.
Yeah, I mean, they play him 2 weeks in a row. He shows up big, week 1, and already.
Panic हो गया guys.
But let us once again shout out Global Esports. They brought
Texture थोड़ा pressure में खेल गया.
24 rounds, right? 13-11. They were able to challenge DRX on Haven, and they made it quite interesting. At the end of the day, they just, you know, they ran into a guy that nobody really could stop.
No.
And can you really blame them for it? I don't think so. So DRX, yes, they come away with the win, but maybe feeling a little bit shook after the way that first map went.
Yeah, I think if you're a DRX fan right now, you probably have mixed emotions, right? Because it is nice to see DRX be able to pull some of these riskier moves, kind of have full faith on an explosive entry, but at the same time you're like, okay, well that did feel riskier than the usual DRX that looks very clean. So a bit of a new look for DRX. Meanwhile, like you pointed out, Global, the calls they made, Aaron's calls, his mid-rounding and his round-to-round memory of DRX's setups, very, very good. It's just the execution was missing, not even 2%, just 1% near the end there.
Yeah, so many rounds that could have gone either way. We saw, you know, the really nice diffuse at the end that was so close. And
Damn.
yeah, what a first map to start us off in this series. But I hope you guys join us in a bit. We're going to go to a split for map 2.
Yeah, we would have easily won.
Here, but RV with the spike down. Yeah, 91 here. Oh, he did not get the flex.
Beneath that turret, not to get spotted.
Now they are on the A side, but they don't really. Mako in position. Monjet able to get 2 though. A couple guys still on A. Bronski has come on this one as he's
better to it. They want to get the chase down.
Oh, he doesn't get hit.
Man, so close. Chat, so close it was. Sourav Manna, welcome to the stream. Sourav Manna, buckle in and thank you for joining in. Why Rossi not playing? Didn't get the visa. Visa नहीं मिला यार. Valorant Champion Tour coming to Pacific. What? B1 and G are tied at 1-1 in there.
We're going to Omen smoke here.
Here.
Yeah.
Here.
Reach flashing. Go C. Raise all.
오케이. 이거 C 얘다 니가 그냥 본대상 그냥 C 위주로 이거 우리 오퍼네. 그냥 이거 오케이 그러면은 너 상범이 포함 311 하고 내가 A 도어 부순 다음에 푸시박에 볼게 A를.
Here. Let's take
Okay.
over here.
Maybe we push waterfall just like that.
Here.
아 오케이. Hide from the flash. Push waterfall, yeah.
Shadows traveling.
A heavy A.
헤비 A 바로 갈게.
Let's get.
바로 돌리는 중.
Let's go. They control A. Cascaded. Wait, I can up jock. Keep flash through. I'm gonna up jock through.
바로 돌리는 중.
Up jock through.
Open mic.
Harbor maybe. 내주고.
헤비 C.
waterfall.
형 천천히 해봐. 형 오른쪽 저기 할게.
बहुत गंदा राउंड हारे थे जी वाले. बहुत गंदा राउंड हारे थे मुझे याद है भाई. चेक इंस्टा स्नीफा.
형 오른쪽 봐 일단.
다시 가동할게. 들어갈 준비. 나 폭포 홀드 해줄게.
아 머리 let me go first.
Nice, good job, guys, good job.
소니.
एपिलेप्सी का आ रहा है ना क्या हो गया क्या दिखा रहा है वो एपिलेप्सी का था ना
But when it comes down to it, Foxy9 still showed us how strong
It's
he was.
epilepsy
30 frags.
or
30
seizures.
bombs, Seth. This is
Some people get
peak
seizures.
DRX.
I mean, the kid is he's incredible. But I mean, one of the biggest things that I was impressed with, while they couldn't fully contain Foxy9, was that they did a damn good job of not allowing Mako to find that much value. Oftentimes, he was getting picked off first. He's trying to anchor on that C site when they're on the defending side, and they were finding picks on him. He ends up like 6 and 19 at the end of this one. So a bit of an iffy performance there from the guy who we normally very much rely on for DRX to do well. But obviously, Foxy coming out there, dropping that many kills, that's a nasty performance.
Or something
from him. But
new
all
to send
things
it.
considered, this
Okay.
was still a fantastic performance here from GE, and I don't want to take anything away from that.
Absolutely not. You made a really good point. You know, this is one of the closest rounds for DRX to really that score line. I don't think they've been pushed that hard in a while.
They haven't. I mean, if you take a look back, obviously 13-5s versus Zeta in the opening match of Pacific, so not close at all. When they were playing against Loud, the maps that DRX lost and won, they were both fairly one-sided, maybe 9 rounds for the losing team on either side there. So this is basically the closest that they've been pushed since, since Champions. You know, we saw Talon take 9 rounds off of them and whatnot, as well as take a map off them. But yeah, they haven't had this kind of scoreline since Champs, and that was when we were seeing them go to like consistent OTs on Ascent and whatnot versus the likes of Furia, and then of course FPX like twice in a row. But yeah, this was a very solid effort from GE, and I'm just hoping that this carries over, because if they're going to play like this, I'm
Where did Rift go?
to see 3 maps of it, because this was just great high-level play on both sides.
Definitely. Let's break down these plays actually. So GE, they had some really good reads on DRX. So let's put up a clip on this.
Yeah, so this is round 16, and Texture's creeping forward. RB gets in just ahead of him, but Texture gets a read that somebody's going to be tucked away. They end up getting the double push with he and Ronsky. Meanwhile, back on the opposite side, Bazzy reinforcing, ends up finding that initial kill, and suddenly, in the blink of an eye, it leaves just Stacks on his lonesome. He runs out of bullets, Bazzy pushes the smoke, and he manages to find the kill. So GE, we're getting a good idea of where they're going to be coming from, not getting surprised by those tuckaways. They managed to just come in, get the kills, and it's just fast, clean, and consistent. There were so many rounds here, especially early on when we saw GE winning both pistol rounds, and then as they go into the anti-eco, they're not losing weapons. They were really doing an effective job of shutting down DRX and making sure that they weren't able to find value in those eco positions.
हम जीत सकते थे यार ये वाला मैप
Game so exciting is that we had good reads on both sides, and there's one particular round that Quack, I think you wanted to highlight that this was.
Fuck DRX से लड़ रही है यार GE यार and they're looking so good.
It was well read by DRX,
Huh?
and it just kept going back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth.
Without Rossi though.
Really well played by both sides, because it starts off with that smoke. It encourages DRX to push fast plants into B instead, and they managed to back off, wanting to play off their utility for post plants. They had a Hunter Sphere to work with. But what I really liked was Monyet hiding inside a garage. He created a bit of presence, just enough to pull a couple of players. He found some frags, and then Hunter Sphere comes out.
क्या कहते हो अगर रॉसी होता तो हम जीतते
And Buzz, being the kingmaker, still coming up with a big clutch, pulls out the shorty, back to the Phantom. He was able to spray down Texture at the end.
Yeah, right as he was trying to break line of sight, get himself on the opposite side of that wall and be main. Just a good clutch coming through. But
Both
again,
sides.
there's so many rounds like this where DRX did walk away with clutches, and that's not what we're used to seeing, at least when it comes down to regional play. Maybe over at the internationals and whatnot. I mean, hell, we saw how many clutches RB had at lock-in. But they usually don't get pressured like this when they're playing against the other teams in Asia. And this is, again, just fantastic effort and prep work here from the side of GE. I do wish that we saw a second timeout call from the side of Eraser right at the end. I thought that, you know, DRX were going to burn their second one. We'd see DRX went around, immediately get that timeout and try to right the ship and take this into OT. I think that maybe is like one of the fumbles, unless I somehow missed it. But other than that, I mean, this was about as good as you would hope here, because everyone obviously predicting other than you. For DRX, I gotta call you out again.
Thank you.
For DRX to be able to win this, and I don't think anybody necessarily thought that it was going to be as close as it was here at the start.
I think both teams were very highly adaptable, and that really shows. I think there were some amazing calls by Aaron. It must have been Aaron. Just really smart calls to conserve, pull back certain rounds or push certain rounds. There was one round, and I think a lot of us, myself included, I was screaming during this round. This was a particular round where this might have been the ending point for Global Esports.
Yeah, I mean, we got right before this, we see Buzz swing out, get a pick over at Garage, but then they completely forget about Bazzi, and this leaves Mako in such a terrible position. 6 HP, trying to clutch, put some damage down, but crucially, he pulls Aaron off of the defuse before he can get it to half. And then he tries, he sticks, he thinks that he's got it, and it is just off by a hair. You can see Stacks praying, and then all of a sudden he realizes, oh my god, we've done it, and then the pop-off comes through. But there's so many moments like this that were just
fucking
down
round,
to
man.
Wire, where they were just barely scraping by, and unfortunately for GE, that's what ends up making the difference in them being able to take this map away and have that lead over DRX. But again, to be able to push them in this manner is a fantastic sign.
Really, really thin margins. I mean, I think it was one of those things where Aaron needed to step off just enough, and of course, it's going to be Foxy9 at the end of it.
Foxy9 Hasan.
The 30 bomb. He was the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hasta la vista though. You know, it's like
not yet.
Nah, not yet. That was. Foxy was amazing. He was amazing these last couple of rounds. They just ended super strong, and Foxy just. I don't know. He's just so flashy.
I mean, he had a stumble initially when they moved over to the attacking side, which was somewhat surprising because historically on this map, it's only a margin of 5%, but it's 65% win rate on the attacking side for DRX compared to 60 on the defense. And that was not really being seen by the Foxy. He started things off, he goes into the second half with like 19 kills, and then he stagnates in that position for a while. That flank that he got through was just gorgeous. Unfortunate for Bazzi, not getting the scouting off of the light, but I mean, Foxy9 then in the last couple rounds when they realized like, oh man, we might actually drop this map, it just felt like he said, okay, no, screw that. I'm gonna make sure that does not happen. He ends up coming in, he finishes off the round with 3 to go ahead and make a perfect 30 bomb at the end. But obviously, we gotta zoom in on Foxy9 and Texture. We highlighted Bazzi as one of our key players, but one of the other ones is going to be Texture, of course, because he needs to be able to find value. And he started things off, and one of the reasons why they were able to have such a strong start on that defensive side was Texture. As soon as he got operators into his hands, he was shutting down those pushes, those attempts at pushes over on C, over on A. He was starting off really well, but then as soon as Foxy started getting going again, he was able to take over, and Texture just couldn't find the value.
There's a lot of pressure on both sides. I mean, Foxy was doing a lot of things with his operator. He had a lot of Blade Storm kills as well, and Texture did similarly too, just that I think it's not quite there yet catching up to Foxy. He had a lot of pressure on A, pushing DRX, forcing DRX to actually plant on B more instead. I think if we actually look at the percentage, they planted on B like so many more times than any of the other maps, but at the very end of it, we still have that one more map to go before we actually say hasta la vista.
Yeah, we do. But my biggest thing here is I want to see what the prep work looks like on Split, because again, they elected to pick this versus Vitality. It did not go well. A 4-13 scoreline at the end of the day for GE in that loss. So I'm expecting very solid improvements for them, some nice strategies. I'm curious to see if maybe they have double duelists as well prepared for this map. But at the end of the day, if they can get this map, I look back in history, I was curious about it. This would be the first time that Texture's ever taken a map off of DRX Vision Strikers. He's never been able to do it.
Back on Damwon.
Yeah, now he's 0-9, but yeah, he's playing on Damwon. They've never been able to take one away from them. So this would be a monumental moment for him. It also keeps G in this series, shows how competitive they can be, and shows how good their prep work can be.
And again, they are going to have to make really good calls, and I think those good calls are what really carried them into the next round. We saw, for example, it's been a long time since we've seen this, a 5-man save on one of the rounds.
True. Yeah. And that's a very difficult decision to make. They were talking about it during the cast, William really highlighting that moment, but I think in the end, it was the wisest decision. DRX have a chokehold on that. We know how good they can be in post plants. Even when Mako's 6 HP, they can get a post plant off. They can win those rounds. When you've got everybody alive, fanned out across the site, covering every single entry angle, the best call in that moment is to just hold on to the weapons. Your economy's not in a good position. So while I'm sure the chat was going like, lol, they're saving, they're scared, that is the correct decision to make in that moment. So I gotta say props to Aaron. A lot of people would feel bloodthirsty, they would feel overconfident that they're going to be able to get it. But this shows that GE has a very good understanding of who the hell they're playing against.
I mean, there was that fault line that was sent as well that kind of discouraged them from continuing to push through. So it's a lot of these things that sometimes even fear is a good signal because it lets you know that you're not making dumb decisions. You're not just rushing headfirst into a full ball of fire. But back to this now. Split being the map pick. This was GE's pick. They played this at lock in, lock/slash in. They went with double controller. They're kind of doing the same thing again, Seth, and it's making me nervous.
Well, Foxy9's going to be playing the Raze. I thought maybe we would see, again, that, you know, that double duelist coming out, but not to be. So it's going to be single duelist on both sides, a Raze v Raze heads up.
Sage them.
With the only difference, yeah, being the Sage there from Ronsky, so he can certainly slow down the play, cut off access channels with that wall, but that's the only difference to the KO on the opposite side.
That's the thing that I'm curious about because as a Sage, we've seen it work so well before, even in that split video voiced over by Will. He talks about how the wall can be useful for gaining you some entries towards B or maybe even blocking off mid. But these days, I feel like the pros have figured out how to counter Sage. It's so easy just to continue to coordinate your shots, to break down that wall, to avoid the slow ARP, which doesn't last that long anymore. So I'm curious to see how GE actually comes up with strats for this one.
I mean, obviously, we haven't seen too much of Foxy in general. He's a fairly new player. He's played in a lot of show matches, had his VCT debut just a week ago. This is only the 9th time now that he has played Raze. I'm curious to see how it's going to look.
With that, we are ready for game 2. Valdez and William, please take it away.
Thank you, Victoria, for sending it over to us. We do have a second map on the way of Split, and they were talking a little bit about the comps that we do see coming in through here. The Sage on the side of GE Sports. And it's going to get interesting. You know, they were able to get it close on Haven. What can they do on Split, which is, of course, Global Esports' map pick?
Yeah, and I like that they mentioned their performance at Lock-In on this map, right? It doesn't go well for Global Esports. Of course, they were going up against the double duelists of Team Vitality at the time. Now, the other thing to note is DRX. This was a comp that they've played before. Last year, actually, in March, when they were trying to figure out some other ways to go through this. Back then, it was Buzz actually trying out the Astra. But this time, it's going to be RB who's been picking up more of that role, and Buzz actually flexing over to KO, which I believe is his 4th time of all time playing KO in an official match. So curious to see how Buzz performs there to support Foxy9.
Yeah, going to be a very important part of this team, as it looks like he is setting up on defense over at A, alongside of Stacks, who is back on the sky.
Okay, so Global Esports, they're hanging back from A main. They know that there's most likely a check coming out. Good read from that. They want to see if anyone aggresses out of A. If they do, it's an easy pick and an entry into A, but otherwise, they'll have to wait. Oh, the delayed guiding light, though, on the minimap.
Foxy, outside the smoke, it's immediately taken down. Mako with the double head tap comes through, or the right clicks, I should say, as he is waiting for this one as well, and he's going to pick up a 3rd. Mako alone, picking up for map 1.
Well, that's Mako returning to his true form. Primed up for an ace here with the spike right next to him. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Buzz gonna give him a chance to pick up the ace.
Yeah, that's what it is, you know? Buzz, he knows the value of an ace.
Just get him low, and then, you know, Mako can do the rest.
Yeah, Batsy knows that Mako's gonna want this ace. Do they hear each other?
Spots him, and no ace. Batsy gonna pick up 2. And
okay,
that's a 3rd.
Hold on. This is suddenly turned on its head very much so. Obviously, Batsy is very low, 23 health. RB has a frenzy, so RB's in a good position, but there is a world. There's a world where Batsy
Absolutely.
30 seconds
is able to clutch this out. Now Batsy knows he's low, so he wants to try to find the kill before he gets to plant.
He's looking around that A site, but RB has read that he's in fact on A, and now here's it.
Spike planted.
Going to be able to make his way in eventually.
Yeah, so RB puts up the star in heaven to pretend that he's coming from defender spawn. Now Batsy, I think he caught sound of it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the timing. Batsy just barely going to miss him. As RB misses him moving into the back there as well. Now he can tap this.
This is a huge advantage for RB because he has the frenzy.
He's going to hold on to it. He's like, come into my smoke, I dare you, as with the frenzy.
No!
But the flash is good.
He knows that He knows that the half is done. He's seen it. Wasi just holding strong.
That's waiting for the tap. Wasi one tap. No, it's not gonna happen. RB just barely around.
Almost
the
another
corner.
pixel.
He will with the half.
Another
defuse.
pistol round to
Make
G,
it
almost.
happen. A very close pistol round.
Oof.
It didn't quite have to be that way, but Wasi turned on the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did not have to go that way. Of course, we were joking about Buzz trying to give over the ace. Surely that wasn't the intention. But Wasi plays it in a way where he can always isolate these 1v1s. And he brings it down to the very last member in RB. But RB plays that so smart.
Man.
He puts up the dissipate over at Heaven just to fake that out. And then he puts up the smoke knowing that he can stick the half. He has the frenzy, he has the advantage to respond with the low health Wasi. A great clutch coming out from RB.
And a very important one as well. You got to get started here early on the defender's side. Want to get as many rounds as possible. And just coming within a big lead, essentially, into the half would be ideal. As here comes Global Esports once again. In round 2, looking to just push very plainly in onto the A site. Not really going to happen.
Yeah, but they're trying to just sell
Double
on a
controller versus double smoker चल रहा है.
attempt, but they will get spotted. So just taking the orb. I do like this, right? Take the orb at the very least, because you know it's free now. You pushed him away. Take whatever advantage you can in a round where theoretically you are meant to take that loss.
This is being held down on A at the same time. Buzz is up in Heaven, immediately gets his head taken off. And all of a sudden, well, they're not going to push in just yet. Just taking it very slow. So still Stacks is on the site.
They do have enough
Trying to
time
recover the gun.
play with this, right? And see if anyone still rotates over through mid, which is why they plan to texture as the Raze there. He'll eventually come in as backup once the spike goes down. If it can go down at all, of course. It's still a tough battle here with the weaponry
And they
don't
go.
have.
Okay, up through Heaven, down into the ropes. They're going to look to go up to actually top of B, actually, as Foxy is here. A couple of satchels. As, there's a lot of people. As nice little turn around the corner, but he is...
Why did he looking down?
So now RB already taken damage earlier.
RB trying to play for time.
Okay, that's going to be the one. He is in the smoke here, and headshot from the top. Global Esports making the second round very interesting.
And Texture has a Spectre as well.
Wow, Texture, let's go.
And the Thrifty in round 2.
Wow, let's go.
Not given any time to DRX.
This,
What a
listen,
trade
I know
game.
Global Esports played that very well, but what an incredible call coming in from Aaron, right? You realize that you actually haven't lost any members on A main. You continue to pressure information. Then you know that it was just RB who gets scratched up in B. You take the ult orb and then you pretend that you backed out. Plant Texture in mid. It gives you another chance to rotate. He's playing the map so well here on the attacking side of Split.
That's kind of insane to be able to pull that one out. Wasi with the first round and making it close, and now the rest of the team able to follow up. And a very nice call from Aaron, as you did mention, as Stacks trying to peek around the corner, not really going to get much. As they're all on Ecos here.
Yeah, he's not able to even get any shots actually landed up. So while Global, they get spotted, they don't mind that at all, because they do have the better firepower. They also have the Seekers. Now, ideally, they don't want to use that. They're probably going to try to save that to use it against the Viper's Pit when it does come out. And in theory, they have the firepower this round, so no reason to rush it.
Yeah, Wall blocking off the ropes as in they go into A. Texture leading the way. As a little flash, Rossi just spamming back there. They know that Buzz is there. Buzz does pick up one. But that might be the only one.
What the
Stacks
fuck,
on the
man?
backside of the site will pick up another, but that is going to be the only couple that they do get. Plans here for Global Esports as well.
Yeah, we got to remember, right? Global Esports, they're the ones who actually get the thrift.
And the
round
game,
two, or, of course,
Global kind of looking good on attacking on this map.
Hey, even losing a couple of those weapons here coming in to round 4. They didn't have to use the Seekers. Now, you know, props to Buzz throwing out those flash drives on that oboe position to disrupt the blast packs. I love that idea, but it just wasn't enough. And now with their full buys, DRX, if they lose this, Split starts to really run out of their hands.
Yeah. Would not be a good sign either for the side of DRX, as they're going to set up here once again. RB on the Astra on B. It's going to be biding his time. And let's see what the strategy this time from Global Esports will be. They do have the one Spectre. Aaron has a lot of money, a lot of credits. Just holding on to those.
Yeah, just trying to balance out the team economy so they can buy for each other and always even out another couple full buys here for Global Esports. Now they've confirmed members in vents. They're drawing out a lot of RB's utility early here.
Oh, and they're just gonna hound him in the backside there. RB gonna get shot down through the wall. Mako trying to spray in, but the Sage Wall keeps him mostly protected. As here are the Seekers, and now they are just owning their way onto the site. They take all of B.
And they're gonna push out as well. Monyet, such good position, because you don't want to get trapped back into B main. They actually have DRX surrounded, and they're the ones who planted the spike.
What an important round here for Global Esports. They have totally dominated, and Buzz is going to catch Aaron just trying to hold down mid. But still 2v4, not a lot of time. They're just going to look to save these guns.
Yeah, and just one thing we saw
Damn.
that kill on Aaron.
Guys, G's fucking absolutely playing so good on this map.
If he just swings with it pinged, right? So if he just swings, he's trying to dodge the headshot so he can respond back with the Spectre. Of course, Buzz will still get the kill, but that's just the small things
Wow.
that show you awareness.
I'll be right back.
Turn rounds around when most needed. So we're seeing what's going on in the brain of Aaron right now. But overall, a great execute. I love the way that Aaron's really baiting out all this utility. DRX is often very good about saving their utility for the right moments, but Aaron's baiting it out. He actually baits out the smoke spam, and then as soon as RB lets go of the trigger, they push as a group and just spam the wall. They're not looking for a fair duel here.
It's a very nice set play. It's one we've seen before, but you put up the Sage Wall, you spam behind the box, and if anyone's there, you get the kill. The other guy from the top here is going to have a little bit of a rough time if you have enough utility to cover your backs, and that they did. They won all the duels as well, even on the backside of B. Unable to get that kill.
So Global Esports, they can actually use the Cosmic Divide from Monyet here, and they should still be set up for a Viper's Pit as well as the res coming in from Ronsky in the coming round. So ult economy-wise, I mean, you don't expect DRX to double down on their ultimates on this kind of half-buy round because of the saved rifles. So Global, I think you might as well just take the rounds where you can. Obviously, I mean, if you open up with 2 or 3 kills, maybe you don't need it. But I am curious. Their positioning tells me that they might just all in on this with the Cosmic Divide. Oh, just the smokes, okay.
Just the smokes for now, as they are going to make it onto the site. As, okay, Mako from the top is going to pick up one. Foxy with a double kill from the top with the Sheriff. And now, making things a bit interesting. Buzz has got a weapon, but Wasi swings out of the smoke. Picks up that kill. Now it's all up to Stacks.
He's making the 1v1s. He knows where both of them are. He's trying to isolate the angles.
Ooh, gonna miss that shot on Abatsi, who does swing out after he moves away. So now 4 in a row for Global Esports after they take that second round. The Thrifty. And that's going to be already the first timeout from Termi.
I can't tell you how excited I am to see Global Esports forcing these timeouts out of Termi. Yes, DRX is playing Foxy 9. Yes, they're not showing their entire hand, but Global Esports is also playing so well. And it's just refreshing to see DRX feel the need to take a break, slow down the NNT, and really talk about what they need to do in an early stage of a tournament.
Yeah, second week here, and already DRX are being challenged. As, I don't even know what he would say during this timeout. I mean, especially not even just this round, but the round before it, where they were on similar economy, equal economy, and DRX kind of just got smacked down on the B site with a very clean entry from Global Esports. That's the kind of thing that really gains a ton of momentum for a team. And I think that's part of the reason why Termi calls this timeout relatively early.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you have to consider, and we've seen other teams try this on the defensive side, ever since the map changes happened, the A-side attack has actually been much smoother, right? They changed a lot of the angles that the attackers can take to not only push towards ramp, but actually through heaven as well. So sometimes what teams will do is actually now start pushing out of B main instead of A main, which is kind of the go-to on the defensive side. I'd love to see DRX take advantage of that. You have the 2 flashes. I know it doesn't feel good to invest too much early on, but Global Esports has been baiting out your intel utility in the early parts of the round. The 0 point, the guiding light. They wait for it, they dodge it on A main. If you just stick with the same default, I think Global has a strong read on you.
Yeah, so far at least, DRX, you know, took a little bit of time to get used to what was going on Haven even, and perhaps they're just trying to gather as much information and go from there and take it relatively slow, as we do see a bunch of members from GES just waiting around this A main.
And we just saw Wasi use a guiding light in mid as well, even though he doesn't get a full tag. Hold on!
Stacks around the corner, but the flick from Ronsky, you saw it. An immediate res comes in with the smoke from the Viper. So now Buzz is trying to spray and deny that, but nope. Global Esports currently in control of this round as well.
And we just saw Wasi use his Trailblazer in mid to check if anyone is still in B heaven. So they have information, because Foxy9 had to shoot that down, that they're still keeping members on B. It's not a full rotate over. Global Esports knows there's at least one on A heaven, so they commit to this site. They know they have them outnumbered here.
Yep, in they go. As, well, they go in and then they go out. They're looking to come up here into ramps and make a play up in heaven. As you can see, nobody here on the side of DRX as the rotation will come in.
Oh, but Monyet's already poised to fight from B main as well. They know they don't have much time, but this actually comes down to Monyet. If he can push in at the right time to get this pinch. Foxy9.
Oh, the showstopper! He gets two on the push and denies it for now as a third kill comes in. And RB's right with him. That is going to be a full cleanup from DRX as they put an end to the domination of Global Esports.
You stacked up those ultimates for a reason, and you use them to bring a round back from DRX. Great decision from Foxy9, understanding once again that this is now a time battle for Global Esports. Oh, and just perfect shot as well. And RB winning the fight against Monyet helps, you know, Foxy9 clean up Aaron, right? Because otherwise he's going to have this distraction from behind him. Aaron might still be able to walk in and get the plant, but RB holds strong in B main.
Such an important turnaround from the side of DRX, keeping things somewhat close.
Round, back to back.
Here in mid. Some shots through the smoke, a bunch of utility being used here.
So one thing we've noticed from Global Esports is that they will actually use their main info, well actually really their only info, in the form of Sky in mid for the longest time. And then they'll plant someone like Monyet, so they always have a chance to rotate off of A if they need to. Now, DRX, so far, their answer to that is Foxy9 holding strong with the Raze utility over by Mail, but Global Esports, we're clearly seeing some adjustments here where they're trying to fish a little bit more utility out of DRX's B side.
Caution here.
I'm curious to see how DRX adjusts to that in the coming rounds.
Saw the one ping as tower now currently being cleared out. And the smoke from the Astra as now the entry from main is coming in, but the Raptors being cleared out. Aaron picks up that second one onto Foxy. Smock on the backside, gets one, immediately cleaned up. Botsy on top. And now Aaron is low on health, but it's all up to Buzz to go 1v3 with a spike plant.
Really good timing on the flash, but he's not able to get the kill. I mean, Global Esports aware of the potential angles. Now DRX is going to come back from it. First of all, let's just say it like it is.
They're playing so good.
Global Esports are on point with their aim today, right? We saw some great flicks and reactions from Ronsky. We just saw that one from Botsy as well in that round, and we had some great moments from the other players on Haven.
No, it's pretty clear that everybody's pretty much on point. Like, yeah, you could say Texture has started off slow, but we know what he can do. I'm sure he's going to shore that up in no time. And that'll be scary if he begins to do that, because then everybody will really be firing on all cylinders here from the side of Global Esports. As now a little push out here from DRX, as they have some Sheriffs, but, oh, it's going to be one. As the Guardian gets in, the Sheriff kill for Stacks, as they're just winning this down on firepower, able to poke out of A and get the win.
Okay, but now they know that Aaron has to stay here to not give away those weapons for free. So you know that at most, it's going to be two people here on this B site. Yeah, RB can hold here with the Bulldog. Oh no!
Stacks another Guardian kill as they are just trying to poke their heads out, and Stacks is taking them off.
What's crazy hold on, let's hold that thought because the round's not quite over just yet.
Oh, but now maybe it is. Foxy able to shut down that as Monet is in with the shorty. And now he's got a gun, but not quite enough. RB gonna clean that up. DRX have been able to hold on to it. They do a little cheer for themselves as well as they pick up the Thrifty in round 8.
Yeah, and listen, Thrifties don't come too often for DRX. They're usually on the receiving end when they go to international tournaments, so great to see them bring this back. What I was going to mention is Global Esports was potentially prepared for this push out of A main, but it's just Buzz being a moment quicker here, and Stacks with their kills to shut that attack down. Now, Global Esports, yes, we talk about how Split is historically the defender side of map. Recently, with the map changes, a lot of the teams are actually doing quite well on attack. So I think Global wants, a couple more rounds here to feel safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a very nice start, but they'd love to have more. As Texter out here, Showstopper in tow, just in case gets shot from behind us. In they go, and this site is cleared.
Yeah, I mean, that spike just gets dropped at the entrance. The null command along with the gravity well. If it was only one or the other, you would still have your hands full if you're DRX. But not only do you slow down the Showstopper, but then the null command to make sure you take it out of that Raze's hands. And Texture is just caught without a plan there to adjust.
Yeah, pretty rough. This time around, DRX, it seems like they have read these B entries quite well. And they're like, nope, we're not going to let you do this again. And they're able to shut it down pretty easily.
Yeah, again, I like that adjustment because we were mentioning how, Global, they keep just waiting for the 0 points, the guiding lights over on A main. It's not doing you much good. Do you press a little bit more aggressively on the opposing side, or are you just better prepared for it? They understand that if there's ever going to be a fast strike from Global, it's always been on this B site. So let's make sure we defend that with the Showstopper from Texture, and they hold off quite perfectly.
Yeah, just going to wait this one out. Is Global Esports not going to be pushing in through here? Gives you a lot of time to consider your next option for the attack. Feels kind of rough that just the round before you got kind of dominated by guys with a Sheriff and a Guardian out in A main. So you're like, maybe we don't want to go that way.
Yeah, I actually would love to see Global just do a, off the bat fast rush into A, right? That's the one thing they haven't quite done. They've been fishing for info on ramp and mid. They've done a couple fast pushes into B main, but they haven't done a full commit onto A just yet. And doing that would be a nice change of pace, and it would challenge DRX to say, do you have your retakes ready? Because A site is not an easy site to flood early on. It's not an easy site to stack off the get-go. Now, I don't think you do it in this coming round because they're not going to have full buys, I don't think, if I remember the economy correctly. We've got, it's funny, we've got Global Esports fans right behind the DRX fans trying to sneak in their own signs
also a
here.
Binbon fan.
Yeah, a
Binbon
Binbon
fan. One of the
fan.
Korean casters.
The Korean caster that looks like Shados over in EMEA. So if you ever find a picture of him, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But, yeah, my question is I think this coming round, I would be a little miffed. Not quite disappointed, but a little miffed if Global actually does a rush here on this half buy, because then I think it's like you're just throwing it away. It's so easy to expect that if you're DRX. I would love them to see them try something else in this coming round, and then once, if it does go to 5-5, try to get to the 7-5 by doing a hard fast push onto A in the next round. Okay, so they're not committing to a rush here. They are going to buy up, though. They're going to buy up whatever they can with just a Spectre in hand for Monyet.
Yeah, he doesn't have much at this point in time, but Spectre in hand, and they might look to play it a little bit slower, as they are going to use some utility already into mid, as has been the case for most of these rounds.
Okay, so,
all right. Well, Foxy, again, when the going gets rough, he's beginning to turn it up once again, as Buzz going to get the kill in mid as they are looking to rotate through. Now making it 5v3 in favor of DRX.
Yeah, and what a strong read from DRX. They actually plant Foxy 9 on A, expecting there to be a power play on that side of the map. Now Mako's bought enough time for Foxy to return onto B.
That's a lot of damage into Ronsky. Has 10 as, yep, that's going to do it. One grenade is enough.
Well, they are stuck up here. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
There's no way out, really. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Didn't expect him to jump right on top of him, I guess, as Monyet is all alone. And RB's just going to wait for some help. Mako coming on over. No need to rush this.
Yeah, I mean, they can wait for stacks to come in through heaven as well.
Yeah.
Listen, Monyet's a great player, but this seems nigh impossible for him to pull off.
Well, just 4 1v1s in a row, but does lose the first one, so we're not going to get there, as DRX will tie it up 5-5, going on a nice streak of their own 3 rounds in a row.
All right. You've still saved up a couple of ultimates if you're Global Esports. is this the time? You saw DRX make this adjustment, right? They shifted their players on the A site. Foxy9 actually over there to swing off of the intel because in the past they've only been fishing for it. But Global, I don't think you get shaken up by that. Yeah, I would love to see a commit to A site. Now, you will have to still wait for the 0 point.
They're going in as Texture.
Can't quite land it for the duel. Oh no, Buzz!
There's the one, but Mako immediately there, a little bit faster than Texture expected. Is going to swing out and clean that one up.
I mean, you have Seekers. I think you use it to push out from Heaven here. Otherwise, you're stuck for so long. Oh,
Mako
no.
just hanging on the rope. He's going to take down that one. Spike at least will be retrieved by Monyet.
They trusted the Trailblazer a little too much. I mean, credit to Mako, right? Just hiding right under on that rope to hide himself from any of that utility. Stax still knows that Global Esports is hanging around. And let's note, RB, he's pushed into Garage on B, so they know that these guys have to...
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Mako, maybe you hear me talking about him in the first map, because now he has, I think, 16 kills so far. As, no, he's up to 14. Still a very high number as he is holding down Heaven. He has backed off for now.
Yeah, I was mentioning, you know, one of the last times that DRX has played this comp on Split was last year in March, and it was actually up against Texture. That's how I was looking this up, because they played against Texture when he was over on Dom1 Gaming. Of course, they've changed their name as well. And that time, Mako put up 25 kills, 9 deaths, and 9 assists on this Viper. So he popped off in that one, and he's continued to prove that, listen, Haven was just a bit of a hiccup. He still had some good clutches there, too, and he's back in form.
They're going to hang out in the sewer. They have 1 health and 10 health.
That's my favorite place to hang out.
Respective.
On my days off. Just go
Yeah,
to the
you got
sewer.
some extra time, just go hang out in the sewer. Yeah. Especially when you're only on 1 health.
Yeah, there you go.
Which does happen if you're working a lot. DRX finally going to take the lead for the first time since they won the pistol round.
Yeah, very true. They struggled a bit, but the timeout comes in clutch for DRX. Meanwhile, it hasn't really converted for Global Esports. They're just trying to keep calm, right? They know that it's still a bit of an uphill battle. It is split. I mean, both sides, I think, really want this last round. Global probably expected to have a bit more. The start they had, they're back to their default. Fish for utility, but look at the changes from DRX, right? They're not using all their utility right away to combat this. In fact, they're actually putting Foxy9, the operator, to push out of Garage.
Wow.
And that's how they're getting information. This is the change they wanted to see.
Yeah, it's working out well for them. They got RB hanging out here in Tower. Has lots of smoke, so much utility just to push in through mid. They haven't made a decision on what side they want to go. Looks like A. A couple of other members hanging out towards main.
Yeah, and now DRX knows for a fact that this has to be A because there's no movement near Foxy9 over by the B side. Look at the setup. Crossfires, and then watching Heaven from Mako. Global Esports, you better have Chris Babe here.
Well, here come the Seekers. Gonna get them some space if nothing else. As they know they're down there in the ropes, holding down Heaven are Mako and his teammate as in they go. Running out of bullets, so is Mako, and they push on through. Texture gonna get that entry in Heaven.
Great timing from Texture to read that. He's running out of bullets near the end.
30 seconds left.
They've cut off any extra backup. They just have to clear the site, but 25 seconds left.
Down they go, Buzz trying to hold on to this. Stax is here as well, and he is alone. That's 2 in a row, but gets taken out by Aaron. As now the pits on the site. It is the last round after all. They're gonna put this spike down. They are up 3-2 at the moment.
Oh, and Rossi gets a great read. Foxy9, he did switch to the Phantom, and he does have the showstopper. So if he actually gets 1 kill, he has a good chance to... Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, I was gonna say he can clear the pit, but...
Yeah. There you go. 6-6 at the half as Global Esports using a lot of their ultimates there at the end.
Yeah.
And, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I mean,
you tie things up.
You needed to, right? You needed to catch up. I mean, DRX had the right read, and they had the good adjustment with the operator in Foxy's hands, but it's actually going to be the 2 members from mid, right? Texture, and I think it might have been Ronsky, who climb up. They just wait for DRX to continue to spam, and then right as you realize they're going to have to back off for reloads and other angles, they push in. A good timing attack from GE.
Really really fantastic stuff. I mean, I don't care if GE go down 2-0 in this map, or in this series, I should say. They have put on one hell of a show. As, hello from Singapore. I love Wasi, that says.
Yeah, and then cheering for stats. We've got a lot of fans here today. Come in with, you know, whether it's their friends, their partners, their family, but cheering for different teams on opposite ends of the stage here, which, listen, there's no problem with that. They're all very deserving of the love and support because, especially, you look at this match, right? I mean, Haven was a banger, and we're continuing with 6-6 here in the first half of split.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, on Mondays here at VCT Pacific, we do have just the one best of 3, and it kind of ends up being the show match, right? Like the big one of the week, because we only have the one. As this is another fan.
Yeah, a fan of one of the commentators on the Korean side, Inho, who's actually been commentating for so long.
Yeah.
I believe over 20 years now. He's esports history itself here in Korea.
Yeah.
Across multiple titles, and of course now with Valorant. But I gotta say, that fan who had that sign just now, I bet he's good with the op because his eye contact was good. He wasn't blinking for the longest time.
Yeah, he certainly beat me. I had to blink after looking into those eyes for only 5 seconds. So yes, really good stuff. And yeah, halftime, good time to consider what you're gonna do on the other half. Obviously, curious to see how DRX are going to handle the attacker side, especially because we saw that Global Esports, a lot of set plays onto B, not as much of a focus onto A, and the times where they did go for it didn't find a lot of success. But
Yeah.
what is DRX going to do?
Okay, so oftentimes we'll see, you know, a early wall over on A main or mid with the Sage, especially on the pistol, because you know it's going to be so hard to break. But they're actually relying on Ronsky to just hold on to B site, right? He's in a position where he's just going to block the plant if they did choose, if DRX chooses to come there. With the Sage wall, which he did purchase with half armor. That's usually the go-to. And then they're going to hang back. It looks like, as long as they don't give up Heaven on A site, they do have an idea of how they want to retake that.
Well, Maka's just going to hop on through up the ramps. He is already in behind them on ropes as the rest of the team is here in mid.
Yeah, this was very intentionally given up by GE, though. So DRX, yeah, you see them stalling because they're like, okay, why is this all so free, right? Mid was free, vents was free. Something's going on here, and GE is hanging back for a retake on A. So you got to imagine that there's some way to recover A Heaven, and then you got to imagine then who's stationed on B side, because the Viper Toxic Screen is set up for a retake here on A.
Yeah. Aaron waiting all the way in the back on A in the screens, just seeing what he can see. DRX taking it very slow as it looks to be push through Heaven.
Yeah.
Mako.
And the focus here is actually going to come down to RB. GE should give the plant here. They shouldn't overextend. They should give the plant. But RB, when does he move and which path does he take? He's waiting to see if he hears any audio cues. He doesn't. So when does he start to crawl into vent to provide support?
That was a lot of guys just pushing on through into Heaven, as now that will totally be given over to the side of Global Esports.
Well, RB's going to be met with a Sage Wall when he tries to support from Heaven.
Buzz has a very nice angle. Ronsky able to trade that one back. Stacks decayed at the moment, as they will have to push through this Viper wall, as from behind they are getting in there, as Monyet defending this for now as they try to retake this one. He's got smoke, he's got really half defused, but the suck comes in.
Yeah, they heard Stacks earlier. They now know where RB is. What a
It's defused. I think it's gonna go off. Yeah, Wasi gonna get that kill up in there, and Global Esports are able to pick up the defuse with 8 seconds left. Very nicely handled on the retake.
Yeah, no, what a great retake. And one of the big important factors there was Aaron backing off of elbow immediately, right? Once they decide, okay, let's just hang back on A Heaven as well, they back off all the way to screens and say, as long as we can file back into Heaven, that's when we'll be fine. We're hearing a lot of GE fighting chants over here. I love that GE has their staff in all their matches. We saw it at Sao Paulo as well.
Yeah.
They're always trying to hype up the crowd and the players themselves. Now with DRX on pistols again, it's going to be, this time we see the aggressive Sage Wall to buy time on A main.
Well, Monyet hanging in here. He's got the Jets. He's going to pick up 2, make it 3. as they are just fish in a barrel for him. Not much they can do about that.
If you've ever wondered why DRX doesn't like this map, that is exactly why they don't like this map. They just don't want to have to play against all these shotguns.
There you go. Manya picks up the 4K and it's flawless. After the pistol round, Global Esports in a very nice position here on the vendor side.
Okay, you've got your buys. And now, importantly, you noted that they bought shotguns, right? You saw the judge coming out. You saw Bucky as well. We didn't hear it, though, but you know it was very close quarters buys from GE. So DRX, they've got to use their utility early to inch forward. They cannot take any risks here and end up losing crucial weapons.
Let's see how it goes. They got 3 guys stacked here on the A site. They have 2 in mid and towards vents.
Oh, no.
So Trailblazer pushing on through. Here comes Global Esports trying to get aggressive, but Mako pulls down the angle. He picks up 2, but Tit's taken out by the grenade as Manya
Oh my
in the
God.
smoke picks up 2 with the judge. And DRX will continue to hate this map for now as Manya picks up a Phantom and takes him down for his 3rd.
Monyet, you monster! I mean,
Oh,
well,
it was
okay.
on the other side.
Yeah, RB's just gonna clear that out, but listen, Mako holds so strong on A main. And yet, Global, you saw the commitment they had to fight for A main. They say Monyet can hold mid with the judge. He can hold on to Mail. That's all we need. If we can push out of A main, recover a couple weapons, right? If we hard commit and recover weapons, we can actually fight for this round. And in fact, now they're poised to try to take the win 2v1.
Let's see how this is going to go. I think Global Esports can just chill over towards the vents, wait and see if RB is going to plant.
30 seconds
and
left.
kind of go from there.
Okay, so RB does have 3 stars, but he doesn't have much time to set them up because he's going to want to stick with the plant as well. He just sets it up right close to him for a safe plant. Now, we do have 2 guiding lights from Batsy.
Spike planted.
It's going to come down to how much can he provide support for Aaron to open up these angles here. RB's trying to make them think that he's in one of these smokes.
Yeah, when in fact he's just got the lineup here from main.
Right, yeah, they saw this plant position. Now they expect this. He's trying to draw out the gravity well, and RB doesn't bite.
Ooh, not gonna happen. Okay, the spray, 41 health. RB just barely able to hold on to that. Aaron is going to get the gravity well in as he has been in this position before. Let's see if he can line it up. 6 health. Seems familiar.
Oh no, Aaron.
There it is, the headshot from RB for the 3rd kill in a row. And a massive clutch to give DRX a chance on this map.
Aaron just cannot land 6 damage today against DRX. What a traumatic round for him. Coming back again. This time he knew. You could tell that he got the call about the health because he just tries to spray down after the fake. But RB's peaks were so good.
Enemy remaining.
They were just insane, and we're going to see here once again. The first kill is rough. I mean, he gets it. But then this one.
Wow.
See Termy there, he's like, oh god.
Yeah.
Thankfully he's able to get that one. I mean, that was the bonus round, right? So DRX really desperately needed that one, and yes, they only do hold on to 1 gun, but at least they take the round down for their sake.
Yeah, just one other thing we noticed in that previous round as RB gets the final kill is he realizes that Aaron's on the Bulldog, and he hears the triple burst, so he peeks out in that timing, which is impressive. Now, Ronsky, I think Mako should have known that it was a double stack there because he heard the guiding light as well, but
Yeah.
Ronsky still gets the kill.
Foxy in to defense, and DRX actually open up mid with this play. It's now quick on through B Tower. They're going to try to make their way onto the site. The rotation is swift, but Buzz is right there with a headshot. And this has been shut down pretty nicely from DRX. Ronsky looking to fast push just a bit, misses the shot onto RB.
Spike
Right,
planted.
just trying to eliminate RB's position for the time being.
And able to spot Buzz, a little bit slow on the shot, but still able to land it.
No charges left.
This is not a lot of angles for him to come on through as Aaron now finally going to be able to follow up.
Yeah, the positions are tough, right? You've got both angles. We're even going to see the Cosmic Divide here, but Aaron actually picks off the kill in time, so it is a 2v2.
Yeah, just like that, Baronski through the divide, and Stax is able to take down both. As on 10 health, he gets the job done, ties things up for DRX.
We're not done yet.
And yeah, just you can see DRX, the Cosmic Divide usage there, maybe just trying to really safely secure themselves a spot back in this game.
I mean, Ronsky actually gets the first kill here as well, and yet, you know, Global Esports, they get a little greedy. I mean, they've had some good rounds where they're able to cut off the initial entry from DRX, or even when they were on the attacker side. But right there, you let Foxy9 pass, but you gotta imagine that there's more members. Trying to commit to that one kill seems a bit of a greedy move.
Nice little flash and entry as Foxy9 able to pick that one up. Pretty strong push into B main with 3 members of DRX.
Even if you're on an eco, you gotta get whatever advantages you can. I'm trying to greed for a kill here alone with the Classic. I mean, I think at that point, right, you just back out and group as 4, either die to the spike or try to fight as 4. But it seems like Global, they're starting to panic just a tad bit, right? They're not able to keep the lead that they had in the early parts of the first half. We're starting to see kind of these solo plays where they're trying to just peek out for their own duels. And DRX is actually now grouping as a group, 3, 4, maybe sometimes even 5 members to cover each other's backs.
Yeah, it's very important, I think, for Global Esports to kind of do what they did on Haven, right? It was a very close match. They were able to get a bunch of rounds towards the end and make things very even down to the wire, down 13 to 11. So, yes, it is an eco. See what they can do here as the plant comes down. And Global Esports will awkwardly have to push through the spawn, try to make something happen.
Yeah, you gotta imagine with the position they took, they were so far away anyway. You gotta hope that they're gonna die to the spike here. That's their hope. Yeah, they're just gonna stick right by here and then inch forward at the end. Meanwhile, on DRX's side, you know, some of them have okay econ, but no reason to hard push for these kills, right? I mean, yeah, Mako could get his Viper's Pit, but is that risk potentially giving over these free upgrades? Probably not.
You could check Foxy's spot. He can actually catch them trying to rotate into the spike.
Oh no.
But he's kind of got an awkward angle. Ronski's going to take down that kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay though, Foxy. He's going to get the showstopper anyway. And now Aaron's just going to run away with the free upgrade.
Yeah. It's very nice for him. Just able to hold on to that one weapon as we do go into now a very even round in terms of economy.
Yeah, but we got to note, right, the showstopper was completed in that previous round by Foxy9, the null command of the Seekers as well. You know, once DRX, now DRX rarely will ever go for a blind 5-man rush, but once they fish for some information and, you know, potentially once that Sage Wall gets popped and then dropped, DRX can group and they can set up for the showstopper.
We saw what he was able to do the last time around. As this time, Mako not going to be caught off guard by this.
Okay, so Ronsky takes a huge risk to get to the other side of the wall, but it is going to provide very useful, right? It means that DRX, they expect him to be on top of the wall, but they didn't get the kill. They didn't get sight lines, so they have to back off. And now this is a main in full control for Global Esports. Texture getting a showstopper to combat Foxy's.
It's very important timing to pick it up, and now he's going to push out. He's got the Boombot sent out, but Mako's holding this down.
Okay, but Global now pushed out even further, so they know that everyone has to be stuck in mid. But Global, if they're going to go, they have to be able to catch up to Mako, because otherwise they're going to get caught from behind. They have to understand that their backs are now open. They actually don't have control of A main anymore.
Madian's able to get the one in mid, though, as showstopper mid. And oh, man, the shorty from that range is able to take down Foxy as his showstopper did pretty much nothing.
Well, okay, well now the push out from Ronsky and Texture proving very valuable.
RB's got a nice angle. He's going to pick up 2, and Stax gets one elsewhere. Immediately makes this 2v2 as Stax hanging on the ropes. Looking to bait out a bunch of shots, but okay, they're actually going to jump in behind him. Stax is going to get shorty from underneath as Monyet is on 4.
10 seconds
and now it's up to RB again. He's got 8 seconds.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, just got to plan it. There it is. He's got enough time as long as he doesn't get delayed as they are running on in. As trying to spray on through, they don't quite land the shots. As he is pretty low, though.
They know where he is.
Oh, and down he goes.
Wow.
Monyet with the ace here in round 18. And Aaron's going to be able to pick up this defuse, a massive turning point here in favor of Global Esports.
props to Monyet for holding mid for so long, because I was getting concerned with Ronsky and Texture pushing out without actually further info on A main, but Monyet just sprays down with all the weapons he has through the smoke.
running away.
And I like this choice here too, right? Just double down and say, listen, we know where RB is. Let's make this a 2v1 in both directions, right? Let's not get caught in two different 1v1s. Let's just commit to trying to catch stacks. Monyet gets 2 shorty kills. It's now tied 9-9. They still have crucial ultimates on the side of Global.
It's denied by the wall. And it's not going to feel too good about that. But Mako did pick up the kill. As Foxy, I guess he was distracting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an idea of if the Sage Wall doesn't come, we'll do a fast push. But if it does, you know, let's just spray down it afterwards. I think this was a very intentional setup from DRX. And they're actually able to, you know, take advantage of it by getting the kill onto Ronsky.
All right, we see Guiding Light in through mid, and Monyet's trying to hold it down again, but they take him out early. Very important for DRX's push through mid, as now in tower, they should be able to take out B site for themselves.
Yeah, during that whole fight in mid, we heard Texture pop a showstopper to try to catch Mako. He actually doesn't get the job done. So he knows that Mako's been pushed all the way to attacker spawn, but they are on their back foot, right? I mean, you still have the null command from Buzz as well if DRX wants to really secure this round, which surely they do, looking at their economy slowly starting to spread thin.
Yeah, last time they were in this position, they got that Cosmic Divide down. They took the round relatively comfortably, but
I like this from GE. Once again, they say, you know what? Split is meant to be defender-sided. We cannot all full buy next round, so let's save once again. We saw this decision made from Haven, and Achilles talked about it once more. Apparently a timeout's going to come up, it looks like, but Achilles pointing out at the desk again the fact that while it feels bad, that was the right choice. The 5-man save over on Haven this time as well, right? Keep these rifles. You can try to make the Seekers in the next round. I think you still have that Cosmic Divide on Monyet as well. Come back strong onto the next round and keep the momentum going.
They did this last time with the save into timeout, into lots of discussion about how they're going to handle it from here. I think that their defending side has been decent, but a couple of clutches from RB, a couple of very close rounds that go the way of DRX, and they're in a pretty comfortable spot here with that last round win.
Something just caught my eye. The far right sign there says, Stacks stop swearing. It's either Stacks stop swearing or stop trash talking Stacks. One or the other, but I think it's the first one, because I think Stacks sometimes gets a little excited on stage. We don't always catch it in the replays, but a lot of the fans have said that they hear it when they're in the stadium. Now, importantly, Global Esports, a change I think worth making is, okay, Monyet, while he's great in mid, DRX is starting to figure this out, right? They're going to just constantly spam. They're going to try to swarm him with utility to take that control. Do you either plant someone else there, maybe the Sage? I know the Sage in mid feels bad because we've seen it done time and time again. Or do you actually just empty it, right? And just say, go back to the pistol round. Say, let's just make sure we don't give up a tower. And just stick with it. Okay, Monyet's going to stick near mid, but he's not going to commit to it, and they're actually going to do a hard stack on B main. Global Esports, their intention here is to push out.
Let's see if it works out, because we got 2-3 members of DRX hanging around there as well.
Oh, they empty mid as well.
They did this before with the Guiding Light into Foxy P. See if it works out as, okay, it's going to take the Satchel on over, and DRX not going to challenge them, and even a Sage Wall is put down.
That is the way to complete this, though, right? Because the whole intention was if we don't get contact, we can get the Seekers for free. They get it, and now they know, okay, DRX was just waiting for us as well. So, no reason to rotate anybody. You've still got the Seekers. I mean, I think, Batsy, you save that until maybe the 40-second mark, and then you use it to double-check. He does have an extra Guiding Light here. I think you use something here at the 1-minute mark just to check for information.
Here's Texture as the blind comes out, but Foxy gets 2 anyway!
Foxy dodges the flash instantly.
And Batsy now trying to hold down in the corridor, sprays him down as Buzz, even with the ult up, Stacks is finally going to shut him down, making this a 2v2. It's going to give time, though, for Global Esports to rotate on over to B.
Yep, Buzz comes back alive. Stacks protecting RB so that they can res that KO. Now, Bodzi, he swings out at the end because he knows that otherwise he's going to get sprayed down. Yeah, he buys time for the rotates, and Monyet's back.
Oh,
and,
he's just waiting for him. 3 in a row. They just line up. Oh, boy. Global Esports able to tie it up at 10 now.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about Monyet's passive buff, which is he gets plus 50% accuracy in mid on splitters. What a monster he is on that part of the map. Look at this. 2 and 3.
Looks around, he's like, did anyone see that?
Yeah.
Can someone get this?
Oh, man. Well, it's just making things more interesting for us.
Absolutely.
We were tied up at 10 on Haven. We're tied up at 10 on Split.
Oh, they want to take a nice change from Global. They push out this time. And not only do they take out Buzz, which is... Uh-oh.
Mako, though, he lines up too. Gonna keep things close. Zeba's able to push in from Heaven down into the vents.
Well, Aaron now committing to holding the site on his own, which is very risky.
He's gonna wait.
Yeah, Aaron just wants just 1 kill even.
It's like RB knows he's there and he's gonna win the firefight. This is looking pretty strong now on the take for DRX. So we have seen Global Esports many a time in this position to save. And I think this is one of the more obvious spots as it is 2 to 4 and even a pit want to be used.
Okay, well, once you hear the pit, you for sure save, right? You say, okay, you know what? We at least baited out that extra ultimate. That's fine. Texture's down to 0 creds. Aaron's down to 350. We cannot get full buys once again in the next round. Global Esports. Again, they tried this 4-man push over at Lock-in as well. That time, I think it might have been on Eco, and it did get shut down in mid that time. This time, they go out. They get a quick kill on Buzz, but actually, Aaron was hanging back in the site on Elbow on A, and so there was no way to check if someone had gotten into A tower. So a bit of a flaw there. Hopefully, that's something we see them brush up on if they choose to continue to bring out that play in future splits.
Hey, you'd imagine that would be pretty important as the last 4 rounds have gone back and forth. And DRX once again are in the lead. Even here on the attacker's side after the half, which was even 6 to 6.
Global Esports trying to figure out how they want to do their buys. I think they're just going to save everything for the next round, even if it means giving up match point. I mean, you know, maybe you have Wasi at least buy. Yeah, Frenzy, I was about to say. Can just hold the close quarters.
Texture just gonna hold the angle on A and make sure they don't go in through here. But you see that DRX, they've only got Mako in that same position that he was a couple of rounds ago. As the push will actually come in through mid.
Yeah, once they hear all this noise in mid, yeah, B main has to push out. They have to push out, and they need to somehow fight against RB and keep control of Garage. Meanwhile, on the A side, I mean, you gotta choose. Do you go back to A tower to fight that, or do you try to fish out for Mako? You do have the res on Ronsky, so Texture can...
Oh, Mako's lining it up. He gets the one, spots Texture, so that's a lot of info going to DRX on this push on A.
Yeah, Texture is all alone, though. He's just trying to buy time. He does get out to Elbow, and backup is on its way in the form of Wasi.
Yeah, they're trying to essentially sprint into this one. Wasi gets into screens as Texture...
Watches that?
Behind, he's taking a lot of damage, but gets the one. He's playing through the smoke so well, he knows that one is in there as well. Takes out Foxy, but Stacks gets the trade. And now it's 2 for 1 as Seekers come out. And the plan is coming in onto A.
Yeah, they know where he is because of the Seekers. Aaron trying to jump down on it. Well,
yeah, just trying to run in. He's got a frenzy and a dream, essentially, as Buzz will let him know what is up at the end of that one, as now Global Esports, a final buy, a final chance to tie things up.
You have all these ultimates, and I know that they've been waiting to use these for retakes. I mean, you know, the Cosmic Divide better used as a retake tool, but there is a question. Do you use the pit? It looks like he might be poised to use it in mid just to shut that down. Monyet's going to watch his back and vents. They showed this at Lock-in as well. So it comes down to Texture. What can he do on main? Ronsky is there with the res if Texture gets taken out.
Yeah. They're going to break the wall. Decide where to go from there. It looks like hanging out in sewers again. So we'll have to pick up that spike and maybe just go for mid again, as of course there is a pit here, so a little bit more difficult.
So the most important thing now is Botsy. How crisp can he be with his timings on his Trailblazer and the Guiding Light? He's jiggle peeking right in between, but every 20-second increment, he should use one of these abilities. There's a Trailblazer. It comes out. Does he get a spot? He does. The vision should have hit.
Yeah.
So they know Aaron starting to try to provide support there.
This one feels pretty obvious, but as I see that DRX are going to try to mix it up and back away.
Yeah, I mean, I think once you go down to 45-40, yeah, use the Seekers. See if they're still in front of B main or not. Now, Buzz is trying to come here just to take these out. Okay, this is trying to sell the idea that DRX is still in front of B, which means Global, they cannot commit to a rotate.
Yeah, and Botsy actually rotates over to B. There's 2 of them on B right now.
30 seconds left.
And that's not essentially where you want to be, as Buzz is really trying to sell this grenades, everything being thrown into the smoke as in he goes, dies someone yet, but the push is on A.
Yeah, but Texture has a read on this as well. And Ronsky.
Oh, but Mako trying to clutch it, picks up 2.
10 seconds left.
Okay, well, they do clear the site, but it is a 3v2. Now, it's Global. I know they might want to save this Cosmic Divide, but it is match point.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you got to use it.
Toxins going up.
Talk screen as well. Mako on the backside. He's got some help from RB. There's the Cosmic Divide.
Oh, this is great for Monyet because it's setting it up for screens, but Monyet can scout across the other side of the wall.
Stacks waiting behind. Monyet gets the 1 and no kill.
Oh,
Botsy
no.
able to get the 1 and 3 health as he can hold this now. RB does not have a chance to make his way in. Okay.
Yeah, there's the gravity well.
And down he goes, Monyet from the top. And that will be a defuse. Global Esports, they've got a chance here. 1 round away from tying it up.
If they win the split, I mean, all eyes on Monyet, right? Not only does he single-handedly win rounds in mid, but that Cosmic Divide setup to make it look like they're all going to try to funnel into screens, and then he watches for anyone waiting on his side of the Cosmic Divide from heaven, able to pick off that kill. And then he's actually able to finish off the round as well.
Well, it all comes down to this as the GE cheers have returned.
I mean, this is the time. This is the time to shout it out, right? Let's go to map 3. I think everyone would love to see that. I mean, maybe not DRX fans, but it would be exciting at the very least.
Sure. I mean, this has been really back and forth and fun Valorant, regardless of who you're a fan of. So seeing more of it would be benefit to everyone, I think, as here comes DRX into vents.
Okay, Global has made a good change, just letting DRX get up to vents from mid. But they're actually going to hunt him down with the Sage Wall.
Oh, they're going to get in?
A great change from Global to make sure the second line of attack from DRX cannot provide support. The Raze down now. The entries are much weaker, and now DRX has to go in with their flashes.
And this is a lot to ask. You got 3 people, or 2 now, as we see Bossy is rotating over to B. Just trying to hold down from ramps.
Yeah, Aaron's just holding an off angle. He just wants to get info and hold on to ramps, right? Mid is being watched by Monyet. They say if they go into A, that's fine. Give them the plant. Now, the big question is RB's all the way over on B main. When does he rotate? What?
I guess Aaron didn't see him, and Mako's just able to line that up, but Rez comes in.
Planted.
Okay, snake bite. Well, okay, at the very least, Global on their side, they hold control. They hold control of A tower.
Good spray. Buzz takes a lot. Stacks trades 1 for 1, which is good for Global here. It's down on the backside. Yeah, Aaron's gonna able.
They know Mako's here. The only one they don't know about is RB.
Yeah. Who is also hanging over. Diffuse comes in. Mako gets the kill. Uh-oh. This is getting more interesting.
Half
as
isn't done yet.
Through the smoke, they have to go, and there it is! Couple kills. 1 to Ronsky, 1 to Texture. Diffuse comes in, and we will be going to overtime.
Oh my gosh. Global Esports taking DRX to overtime. I don't think that was on anyone's bingo card for VCT Pacific 2023.
Well, they almost did in the first map, and now on map 2, they finally make it happen. Both teams getting 6 rounds on either side, so what can you say? Very evenly matched are these 2 teams. Global Esports have risen to the task and they are certainly going blow for blow with one of the best teams here. If they could overtake them and force a map 3, that would be huge for this squad.
And the true winner of this map is the AR director in the studio. Finally gets to show off the overtime scoreboard in AR.
Yeah.
I do like it, right? Instead of just trying to keep track of the entire score, we'll do that for you guys, but we just want to know who's on match point, right? Who's getting close to the 2 wins that you're going to need to win out map 2. Global Esports trying to push this to map 3 on Pearl. And DRX, I mean, yeah, it is round robin. As long as you win the match, it's okay, but it's not going to feel great in DRX's position.
Yeah, you were so close. You dropped 2 in a row. What can you say? Just try to forget that happened and essentially just play the smaller best of series that we have here in these last bunch of rounds.
Now, my big question is Global Esports, they had a good streak in the beginning on their attack, and then once DRX adjusted with the timeout is when they couldn't eke out more round wins. So do they have some other wildcards prepared on this first couple overtimes when they're on the attacking side to try to get their lead? Because I think their defense, they're starting to figure out DRX's pacing here and their defaults.
Yeah, it really does feel like Global has got a read on them. Let's see how it's going to go after the side swap.
There is a change, right? They're just ditching A entirely. They're going to focus on mid. They want to get full mid control and then decide if they want to rotate back out. But they are going to have to speed this up because they have no information on whether DRX pushes out of A main or not.
Yeah, as they will look to push on through just a bit. It's utility use here in mid as grenade comes out and they say, well, it's going to slow us down just a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they did draw out a lot of utility. This is just going to be a full commit onto B.
Yeah, Foxy, he's here. He hears them all as well. Lines it up. Perfect timing on the peak 1v4 as on the back of the site here is RB as well. Texture is in. A lot of members of Global are in onto the site, but RB and Foxy are able to hold it down and leave only Monyet on the site here alone.
Foxy 9 staying alive for so long, creating different off angles to keep Global Esports at bay. It comes down to Monyet. He's done some heroics so far in this map, but not too much time on his side.
It's gonna run on over. I think that's the sound cue they needed as a lot of spray coming through the smoke. Monyet in a really rough spot. Catches one, after that goes down, catches another! Monyet has been insane so far, but the flash from Buzz is too good. And the timing is right there as Buzz just barely gonna hold on to that round for the side of DRX.
That right-click flash drive was just so clean, right? It pops right as he sees it. You see Monyet trying to dodge it, but if Monyet dodges that, I think he swings back, gets the kill, given just what momentum he had there. But look at Foxy 9's positioning, right? Just creating these angles to stay alive and even get 2 kills.
One enemy remaining.
Watch this flash.
Perfect, yeah.
They're like, oh, that's a relief.
Yeah, that's a relief for sure.
Thank God.
Okay, well, timeout. DRX, okay, they want to close it out on this attacking side. And I do like this. We haven't seen this work out too well in the past when teams try to use an early timeout and overtime to close it out. But the reason I like it is because towards the later part of DRX's attacking half, it was actually GE who makes the last adjustment, right? And DRX hasn't had time to try to iterate some other changes. So now's a good time for Termi to say, okay, this is what GE changed in the last 2 rounds. How do we combat that? You looking at that sign?
Yeah, there was a sign. It was like, if you guys lose, you have to get together with me, basically. I don't know if they'll take that offer.
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's a done deal by any means.
The strongest of motivations to win.
Yeah.
For DRX. Well, all right, Global Esports as well. I mean, surely you see this timeout coming out. Eraser surely has told them, all right, we can't do the same things over on mid. Okay, yeah, so they go back to a very slow default. Now, I would love to see Botsy start to push out off of his utility on B main, right? Because otherwise, it doesn't mean much. Yeah, he's starting to push out because that way the stack on A has meaning. Because now they can say, just keep 3 people on A. There's no one in front of Garage.
Yeah. Aaron in position, gets a little bit of poke damage there on a Foxy.
it's a miracle Foxy actually stays alive there.
Yeah.
Okay, Trailblazer out of Garage as well. And into Ramen.
Yeah.
Foxy has so much information on the side of B. Now, the only problem is they actually ditched mid entirely. So it's a 4-man stack on A.
And they're pushing out, I mean, they're going to get some information that, okay, a little bit of a rotation has come out from DRX as Texture gets one. RB.
Yeah, but seeing the position, Texture, yeah, he wants to stay alive because he's only 1 point away from a showstopper. Now they know that they didn't spot everyone on DRX, so there could be a rotate, which is why Botsy now goes back to watch mid. We do have the Aster Star from Monyet to support on B side, but I like Global Esports' idea. Just don't commit to this, because Botsy, all he has to do is stay alive in Garage on B main.
30 seconds
Just
left.
spot the plant, and then keep main alive.
That's his job. Let's see the timing of when he pokes out as they are already in there. He
Stay
picks up
alive.
a kill as well.
He needs to stay alive, yeah. I mean, you've bought enough time. You cannot try to stop the plant right now. Stay alive, it's a 5v3.
All right, he's going to hold it. Botsy
10 seconds
in the
left.
smoke. Stax wants to take it down.
RB? It's a pinch!
Oh, and they pinch him perfectly. They take him out.
And then Buzz has actually pushed out into Alley as well. DRX has great positions despite being down in numbers.
Oh, Aaron nearly takes him out, though. Bit of damage is now Buzz pushing forward. Knows there's Ronsky behind him. Ronsky gets the kill. As in the smoke they are. RB in mid-jump, still going to get the kill. As Diffuse is down in the spray, they try to 2v1 him, but he takes him down. Ronsky, and Aaron pokes around and takes down Stax. And they do have ample time to get the Diffuse Global Esports.
Woo!
Smooth on the defense.
Man, when we saw Global Esports and DRX with their April Fool's joke about Mako and Fox not going over, we thought that was going to be the spotlight for these two teams this weekend, but boy, we've been proven wrong with this split in map 2. And I mean, props to both teams, right? Global Esports, great adjustment with Botsy pushing out and trying to stay alive in Garage, buys enough time for the rotate. Meanwhile, DRX, RB sneaks in, gives time for Stacks to go into backside. That's the only chance they had to win out. They unfortunately do not. And now we go over to round 27. You know, I often imagine that all of the GE guys would make great casters because they never run out of their voice.
They might need it for map 3, man. I mean,
yeah, this
you gotta be careful.
This could go down to the very last stretch. Of course, map 3, Pearl is waiting for us there. I don't know how clearly you guys can hear that through our microphones, but it is very clear to us through our headsets.
Yeah. Texture fan right behind him over there on the GE side. And, of course, this timeout is going to give time to both sides to try to discuss what we can do better going into this next one. And honestly, I don't really know, like, what is the strategy going to be here for DRX now moving over after having lost the last rounds. That was pretty close as they move back on a defense.
All right, so Global, their default setup is back to the very original, right? Wait for the intel gathering coming out from DRX, see if they push out. If they don't, maybe counter it with your own info. Over on a main. We're just going to see the 0 point come out.
All right, Mako holding down vents. Bit of a passive position there as the rotation through sewers will come in.
Oh, this is a nice change though, right? Because Aaron's in the same position he always was when he was lurking over on the A side. And now they're going to start to strike with the Trailblazer. It's a bit of a twist on the GE special, but the gravity well buys just enough time.
Oh, and Buzz, he's on the run.
God.
He's like, oh God, get me out of here. As they all move in on to tower.
Okay, they need to clear elbow, though. What are their tools to clear this out? Buzz already uses one flash drive. They baited that out.
Oh, Foxy on the backside here is going to underhand the grenades, buy himself some time.
Foxy needs to provide support from A main.
There's one. There is, nope, the trade for Monyet. On the backside, in the screens, in they go. They're both low on health. Buzz here in elbow. Trying to hold it down.
Oh, no.
As they push through, another trade. Monyet is just insane right now. Botsy, they get the push. They should be able to put down this plant.
Mako looking to see if he wants to creep in early. No, he's going to wait for RB to provide a second angle from above, but an amazing cosmic divide.
Just got to push.
Mako!
Oh, man, that was insane. Makes it a 2v2 and pushing out! They push out of the Cosmic Divide, and Mako and RB get one apiece. And that will be the defuse as DRX hold on barely.
Wow. Okay. I know why Wasi did that, right? Because you just got cleared from elbow. You imagine that it's only one on the other side, you know, in the main part of the site. So you push out, try to get a crossfire off the flash. But unfortunately, DRX was just one step faster in creating their own crossfire there. Wasi's plan was fine. The Cosmic Divide was good. It's really just Mako marching in through that Astro Wall to get the first kill on Monyet. That changes everything.
Yeah. I think he really did hear me call out his KD on map 1. He's like, no. But jokes aside, Mako's really stepped it up here. He's gotten comfortable, and he is holding this team together.
And a note, Monyet also has 36 kills. So.
Yeah, Monyet has been disgusting on this map.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that he's been carrying GE a certain amount. But GE, good changes once again. This time it's a harder push with a stack on B main. Now, because it's 3 people, what they do is they push out, but then they just go back because they don't want to give up all of B Heaven and Vents and all of that for free. So now you're like, okay, I'll just keep Jiggle peeking Garage, and Botsy will see if there's anyone over by A tower. That allows them to set up for a good retake on B if it is going to be a B strike, which it appears to be so.
Yeah, looking like it. As they're up there, nobody's checking, nobody's peeking onto this one. Bud's gonna get that entry. Monyet flash spamming, and he can't get the kill.
Oh no.
The entry is clean for DRX, and this might be the way they win this map.
They're not set up for a great retake either. Only a single guiding light and a slow orb from Sage to make this work. They have to pop out. They have to pick off one, at least one, to get an advantage, but...
Yeah. Foxy gets the info. They got 2 guys stacked there on the backside of the site.
Yeah, and then you've got one in B main, and then you have RB trying to get the flank onto Heaven.
Aaron, though, able to get 1. The spray! Rossi gets 2! And the defuse is coming in. There's enough time, but Mako.
They got half. The snake bite comes out.
Ronsky again.
Do they know where RB is, though?
And the res.
Pulling them in.
He's got the suck. Is it enough?
They suspect it. They know he's up in
Is it enough to spray? And no, Ronsky picks it up, and we are going to more rounds.
I'll be honest, I wrote this off as soon as Texture gets spammed through that wall, because you called it, Valdez. No one was watching that despite having Botsy intentionally checking A tower instead of B Heaven. You had to expect that pinch to be there. But Global Esports, what a retake, what an amazing flash coming in from Botsy. Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
No surprise. As we reset, 14 to 14.
Wow. Going to round 29.
Yep, we are in this one already.
Yeah, I mean, no timeouts anymore either. So at this point, we always like to remind you guys, it really actually comes down to a bit of endurance, right? Who's keeping their focus in the game? You've seen so much from your opponents in terms of their choices, their styles, and even some of their curveballs. So GE, they've done a lot of B rushes through main, but this time they just poke a little fun at mid, and now they're going to stack. And I don't mind this. In terms of round-to-round calling, this is a decent idea.
Gonna stop the push. Texture slowed down just a bit. Foxy in the site as well.
They don't know Texture's in deep, though.
Foxy gets it. He gets the 1, and yeah, Texture picks up that kill as you mentioned. Monyet as well. RB, very nice swing, but traded back again. And now it's up to Stacks. As this plant is gonna come down, Aaron. Good position. And there it is, Botsy able to shoot him down. And all of a sudden, Global Esports, I believe for the first time as well here in overtime, will take the lead.
Yep, for the first time, meaning that it's the first time either team has been able to get their attacking side as well. And oftentimes when we see this happen, we gotta imagine that the momentum now goes over to Global's side, right? And you know what? They're doubling down. They say, okay, we have the attack. Put Texture on the operator that he loves so much. Have him hold A. They're committing to this. It's going to be Botsy fishing for information on B main once again.
See if it works out.
The wall's just a fake. The wall is a fake to plant Texture with the operator.
Texture is pushing just a bit, peeking the corners. Mako's gonna stay in the same spot that he has been when DRX have been on attack.
So most likely global, they don't make any more rotations. Maybe you send either Monyet or Aaron over into. Oh, Aaron's even gonna. Oh my gosh.
Love this.
Oh, this is. You gotta expect it. Yeah. So he spams it. Aaron says, "Okay, okay, fine."
There it is.
There it is. This is what they were waiting for. And just so we know, Ronsky was actually hanging back to provide slow orbs if Texture needed to make an escape, but he's not going to need it.
Oh, look at the push. Aaron sitting, waiting. They clear out the angle. Buzz able to get the headshot, and now the push comes in. Foxy with another headshot as they will get a clean entry into B now.
Oh my gosh, Aaron, listen, Aaron had the right idea. You know, you get cleared out of the first box and you say, surely they won't expect the second one, and Buzz says, no, 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 we hate this map for a reason. We check every corner on Split.
Well, Ronsky's got some good info. See if that leads to something for them. Ronsky's going to aggressively peek as the grenade comes in by Mako. Clean as ever. Oh, grenade kill in the backside there. Texture as an operator.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how good you are with the op, this is so hard.
Let's see it. Nope. Not gonna hit it. Gets the second one though, and a showstopper. Is there enough time?
No, he's got to stick half right now.
Yeah.
And then try to get just one more kill, but
it's not enough time. He gets the one though.
Oh, yeah, no time.
Just not enough time. Nice try. He tries to get the morale booster, but not even able to get that. RB picks that one up and ties us up at 15. Apiece.
This is my favorite part where we get to tell you guys that our score sheets always run out at round 30. And already in week 2, we are running out of space on map 2 of this match between DRX and Global Esports.
Well, it's a very entertaining first time to cast for VCT Pacific for me, William.
I mean, this is very exciting, yeah. And
map 1, 2, and then now we get to this, and we're in overtime already. A huge treat.
Right, delayed 0 point, and this will actually catch Aaron. And so a little bit of different information than DRX is used to, but then you imagine, okay, if it's only Aaron, it's probably still alert.
Scout destroyed.
Now they don't know that Wasi is here, and Wasi's going to start using some of the Sky utility to try to force DRX to shift their weight over to the A side, and the perfect timing for the rest of the main force of GE to push mid.
Let's see it. Foxy in position, spots him, can't land the shot as in he goes, and Mako's gonna hold down Vents for now. He's holding this angle, he's right behind the wall, he's barely able to pick up that kill with 29 health. Now they're pushing in through the tower. They're going to try to go downstairs. Let's see if Mako's ready for this. They probably hear him running in, and that's an easy kill for Ronsky.
Oh, he tries to set up.
Oh, and they're waiting for him. Buzz able to lock it down, and RB gets another one. Defenders win, and DRX will take the lead. Round 31.
Match point.
Oh, boy. But I will say, GE, I mean, the way they adjusted to some of the skirmishes here in mid, their focus is still clearly here in this overtime. I mean, Mako just waiting for that one, but the idea of, okay, let's push through B Heaven, but then let's clear the backup that comes. Again, the comms are clearly still working. DRX is just a step ahead. Buzz with some great aim on that double kill. G, can they fight back? Take us to a couple more rounds of Split.
Yeah, we definitely need some more. We haven't had enough. I don't want to end on map 2.
No.
That just wouldn't be fair.
We only have one match today. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We can go to map 3.
Give us the value as the peak comes through. Texture.
Okay, well,
Korean caster.
Yeah, you can just hear them.
It was a nice timing. RB gets totally caught off guard.
Now, Ronsky, again, one of those situations where his goal is to just stay alive, right? Just make sure you can at least hold on to part of a tower. Now, Mako's should suspect this. So Wazi's going to come help clear it out. He saw him.
Oh, hello.
Oh, he's actually stunned.
Yeah. Love that picture-in-picture. Mako still aggressive with this. Going to put the poison orb as Stax is already in onto the A site. Going to take down Ronsky in heaven. And now with the plant down, DRX on match point with this win.
So G has no idea where Mako is anymore. So they're just going to have to commit to this. They're going to have to rely on Magnet to clear A tower and provide backup fire.
Grenade's good to buy some time. Second guiding light comes in. Botsy makes some noise to spray through the wall, and that should do it. It's all up to Magnet, and he gets one, but not two. Stacks picks up the 4K, and DRX will take down map number 2 of Split. What an incredible clutch to make it happen there at the end of this one.
Absolutely wonderful match between DRX and Global Esports. And while DRX ekes it out here, 17-15, you gotta give credit to G as well. I mean, you can talk all you want about how, okay, well, maybe, DRX probably didn't show their full playbook and whatnot. Oh my gosh, am I looking at this correctly, Valdez?
I think so. The stats don't lie. Magnet with the 39 bomb, one away from the 40, and yes, we did have a lot of extra rounds, but he was carrying the team for a lot of that and deserves a massive shout out.
Oh yeah, I mean, huge round of applause to Magnet. But again, GE, no matter what DRX is showing or not, first of all, a lot of their players were able to keep up in terms of pure mechanics, right? In terms of pure 1v1 duels and aim. But then on top of that, the way Aaron was calling this whole match from Haven all the way to Split, I love not just the mid-rounding, but also kind of the round-to-round adjustments. And then not so much on Haven, but on Split, the timeouts from Eraser as well, pinpointing how they need to make those adjustments. Because it's easy for us to call those out because we get to watch the minimap the whole match. But when you're in-game, it's not as easy. Even if you're the coach, I've heard some coaches say, I missed that play. I was watching the VODs. I missed what my players were doing because I was watching, the player POVs or whatnot. Just great adjustments from both sides here on this map, too.
You see some tears from DRX there at the end, but certainly some more sighs of relief as Global Esports has some fist bumps, but also some shoving, as you might as well. Some friends here on both sides, obviously. DRX with a big win, but they were certainly tested, and a massive treat for everybody who was watching. A very entertaining back-and-forth series we did have.
Yeah, and again, we had a sold-out venue here today, and especially because it was only one match, it's been a packed house for the full time. Even the second floor, we're seeing people standing up to try to get pictures of the players on stage right now. But what a treat we were served today for all the viewers and fans of VCT Pacific. Because what this means is, first of all, DRX still #1. Foxy9, we see that he can still hold his own even in overtime. But then GE, they're in for the long fight. They're going to try to fight to get into playoffs and potentially fight for one of those spots at Ghost Masters Tokyo.
Well, that was really fun. I mean, it was just a lot of fun.
It really kind of drew out all the energy from not just us, but especially the GE fans cheering for all those 30-something rounds here on Split. But a beautiful match between these two teams.
Yeah, it was just absolute pleasure, and of course we will be hearing from one of the guys on the side of DRX.
Yeah, I'm
wow,
curious.
It's so close. I mean, who do you put as your MVP in this one? Because it was obviously Foxy in the first map, but then we also had Mako for the second map, who had so many clutches, so many multi-kills as well. Like, Foxy also had a good map too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd lean towards him, but especially with all the clutches in overtime,
it is tough, right? I think overall stat-wise, I agree, it has to lean to Foxy. But then if you kind of think about just pure impact,